too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Shoots, he scores!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. We'll see mostly cloudy skies this afternoon, but a few peaks of sunshine on and off and a high of 75. Overnight tonight, we could see a few stray showers. Our overnight low is warm at 63. And another warm day tomorrow with a high of 73, but we will see mostly cloudy skies. And we have a level 1 risk for severe storms. Wind damage would be our greatest threat. It is going to be a windy day tomorrow, and our best chance of storms will be from noon until around 5.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 566 points to 38,317. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
McAvoy will get this in. We might hear a buzzer from the league. Here it is. Here it is. Beautiful. Lacrosse goal number 3. Out front, they'll score! Paravainen. Go cross ice out in front, deflected. Oh, Kochetkov, Niet. Shot right on. Gensel with his second try. Swayman can't see it. They score! Now Jarvis, he'll get to it, streaming into the zone, and his little backhand chance. He'll score! Short-handed. Seth Jarvis.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. Let's start the NHL postseason right now.
Yes, please.
The timer went off. The Canes are ready. Andrei Svechnikov was the alarm you set on the microwave saying, food's ready, food's done, yeah. Let's go. It's dinner time, let's eat, main course. That was about as good of a game against Boston as you could ask for. It's still the regular season, so the actual value of it is mythical at this point for me, but it's make no mistake about it, it's good. Svech is on his Shut Up, I'm Good tour, as we talked about yesterday. And, well, he told us all to shut up, he's good. Last night was a complete performance from the entire team, and it felt intentional. Right? We talked about it being a mental thing. They lost to Boston last week, and maybe there was a hint of an edge you could get by playing well and beating them last night. Whatever hint of an edge was available, they got it. It felt intentional. Andrei Svechnikov didn't just score a goal. He scored a Svechnikov. It's like gymnastics, right? If you do something no one's ever done before, they name the move after you. Andrei Svechnikov pulled off a Svechnikov, that lacrosse goal from back the cradle, I guess it's something they're calling it now.
It's actually on the official stat line on NHL.com, like they give you like how this goal was scored, wrist shot, slap shot, deflection, tip in, whatever it is. It just says cradle.
I guess they should call it a Svech.
They should.
Svechnikov was asked what was going through his head when deciding to go for the lax goal, the cradle goal, the Svech.
Just kind of when I beat the D, and actually I kind of didn't have the space, to be honest, because the D was, his stick was right on me, and I just kind of did it quick enough that he didn't get my stick, so I got a little bit lucky there, and, hopefully we're going to see more.
I wish he would have. What was going through my head? I wanted everybody to shut up. What was going through my head? I was looking for the opportunity to do that because people were saying I haven't been playing well and I've been in my own feelings, so I wanted to make them shut up. That would have been awesome. Of course, he's not going to do that. But he can ride that wave of attitude. Like there is a certain amount of confidence that comes with even trying to pull that off, right? A certain amount of, I know I'm good. right? There were a few times in the NBA. I remember Gerald Green did it. Shout out for people that remember Gerald Green. I remember Vince Carter did it, obviously a UNC legend going into the Hall of Fame. But there's that moment where somebody throws an alley-oop, and you're like, oh, cool, this awesome dunker is going to catch it and put down the alley-oop. And then they, like, windmill it, and you're like, oh, they're confident in themselves. Oh. Different, right? It's one thing to, like, score a wraparound goal. It's another to take it vertical and go cradle to the top of the net. That's he knows he's good, right? He knows he's playing in rarefied air. Yesterday and the day before, really for the last week, we've been talking about how the Canes are playing extremely well, but if they want to take that next step, they could probably win in the first round, maybe even the second round, but to win it all, to achieve the lofty goals that they've set for themselves and that we've all set for them, they're going to need good Svetch. Last night they got good Svetch. And maybe even more importantly than the goal scoring, the assist, maybe even more important than the kind of strategic and schematic and decision-making and execution was the fact that he didn't get caught up in the frustration like we've seen him get caught up in recently. There were no retaliation penalties, right? And there were opportunities. You can, it's the Draymond Green thing. As soon as you get the reputation for somebody who people can get under your skin, everybody is going to try to get under your skin. And I believe the Boston Bruins were trying to get under Svetch's skin, and he stayed level-headed enough. I don't want to take all emotion out of it, but he stayed level-headed enough.
He didn't bite.
He didn't, yeah, exactly. He didn't take the cheese. Didn't take the bait. Didn't fall for it. I'm going to use, this is a direct quote from Dennis Cox, who you just heard. He said this in the office today, and I went, ooh, that's good. I'm writing it down. I'm going to use that on the show. When the Canes play like that, they beat everybody and anybody. When the Canes play like they did last night, if they can do that, how many times do they have to do it? 16 times?
Mm-hmm.
They hoist the cup. If they can play like that 16 times, plan the parade. I understand the magnitude of it, and I believe the magnitude of it when you say that. Right? That's why our confidence meter is all the way at plan the parade. Take us to the 2-shot on the video. There you go. Plan that parade. If they can play like they did last night 16 times in the postseason, plan the parade becomes execute the parade. Here's Rod Brindamore describing the win over Boston.
Well, I think it was a great team win. Good team effort. Everybody played solidly. A couple big plays, obviously. Jarvis shorthand goal. That's a big, probably put the game away there. Could go a different way if they get a power play goal. So, and then our, Cooch made some real good saves in the third when they kind of had their push going. So, but overall, I just thought it was a good 20-man effort.
It was a good win. He gave him the day off today, by the way.
Yeah, they're going to practice tomorrow, then fly out to St. Louis, and they got to go to Chicago and then Columbus right after that.
It is ironic that professional athletes work their entire lives to be professional athletes, and then the biggest pop you get in the locker room is when you're like, you don't have to play the sport tomorrow. And they're, yeah!
Let's go.
After the game, he credited Jarvie, first of all. Great goal, great effort. He continues to do all the little things. 30 goals for Seth Jarvis. Do you want to take your victory lap now?
I do. I mean, I could have taken this actually a few games ago. I predicted before the season Seth Jarvis would have 60-plus points, and he's at 63 now.
30 goals.
Yeah.
60-plus points.
Mm-hmm.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. That young man is earning himself a lot of shit.
But it's the good kind of money to spend. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I saw this argument today. Josh Allen, not the quarterback, the edge rusher for Jacksonville, the Jaguars, signed a massive deal. I saw someone, everyone was going like, oh, no, how is Jacksonville going to afford this? And there had to literally be I think it was a fan even. I don't think it was a reporter. Had to jump into the conversation and go, no, this is what you want to spend money on.
Yeah.
You draft a guy in the first round. He plays well enough that he tilts the competitive landscape in your favor. You pay that guy. That's by design. Things are going well. This is not you don't want to pay this guy because how will you afford everything else? It's you pay this guy because he's worth it. Seth Jarvis is going to get paid this offseason. It might come at the expense of another position or another player that you like, but overall, it is a good thing. You have another 30-goal scorer on your team. You have another 60-plus point guy on your team.
Isn't that the point? Like, you draft guys in the first round to hopefully eventually keep them around for a decade?
It's and do the little things, buy into the culture, be a great representative of the team, excellent personality and marketability. Like, you pay Seth Jarvis every single time, and you do not sign that check with a frown. You sign that check with a big fat smile on your face. Rod Brindamore was asked how Seth Jarvis has elevated his game.
Well, we've talked a lot about him throughout the year, obviously. He's just growing, like, as a player, and he's kind of doing, he does everything that we ask him to do, and he just keeps getting better. So future's definitely bright for him.
Seth Jarvis was good. I believe Svetch was great. Kochetkov was really good in net.
First time we said his name.
Which is a shame that it took us 10 minutes to do that. Couple of the defenders really good. Gensel, I mean, yeah, that guy was a good trade acquisition. The Canes looked like stereotypical Canes. It was a grind. The goals were heavy. They were earned. The defense made life very difficult for Boston. Carry that over for 3 more games and into the postseason. Do not throttle down. And again, I'll use the saying we did earlier. When the Canes play like that, they beat everybody and anybody. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's some breaking news that I want to tease before we go to break. But first, need to tell you about what's going on over at Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry in their Village District location. And part of that is their brand new Omega Boutique. The place is awesome. I just saw on their social media today they have Speedmasters with white dials. That is something that has only been allowed or only been released in limited special edition Speedmasters over the years. Now it's something that they have available, much more readily accessible for the bulk of the watch buying community, and you can get yours at the Omega Boutique inside Raleigh's Village District location of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. It is the second largest Omega Boutique of its kind in the entire country. The Speedmaster has an awesome history. It's been worn on the moon. It's trusted by the Olympics to time their events and be the official timekeeper. It is an iconic watch now with a different dial, meaning a different colored dial. It's awesome. You want to check it out. Again, all at Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, and then on the other side of the store, there's the Omega Boutique inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Check it out. Go out there, talk to Mickey, the timepiece manager, talk to the staff. They know what they're talking about, and make sure they know that you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the portal is hopping, and we have another player. We've already seen yesterday a Duke and a UNC expected contributor hit the portal. It's NC State's turn. I'll tell you who next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Robert in Raleigh, listening on 99.9 The Fan. What's up, Robert?
I got to go leftovers, macaroni and cheese. Michelle, I know you don't eat leftovers. My wife grew up eating leftovers. She'll bake a peach pie from scratch, have one piece, and then it's old. And I've heard you talking about where the best pizza's from. If you've not had Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern Pizza, they're all right there in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
America's favorite car show returns to Raleigh with cool cars, cool people, and good times. It's the Good Guys 9th Griot's Garage North Carolina Nationals, and it's all happening April 19th through the 21st at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Check out over 1,500 of the Southeast's finest classes. Shop the swap meet in Vendor Midway. Experience the metal crunching Saturday Night Demolition Derby and so much more. And don't miss the return of high-octane Good Guys CPP Autocross racing action all weekend long. It's all going down April 19th through the 21st at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Get details at good-guys.com.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, "How you doing, Tom?" I go, "Hey, I'm not your fucking stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not."
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour Come Together to PNC Arena Raleigh, April 14th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or PNCArena.com.
Hey, baseball fans, go yard with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Hey, it's Victoria Vodnecker here for BetMGM, and all season long, we're offering top odds on your favorite home run bets, shared 50K Grand Slam jackpots, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Whether you want to combine multiple bets for the same chance at a bigger payout, or place a live bet as the game unfolds, BetMGM has all the home run betting options you could need. Download the BetMGM app, head to the ballpark, and get your piece of the MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, North Carolina only, subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness. But money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The transfer portal, everybody knows, it giveth and taketh away. It's becoming a bigger part of college sports. All 3 teams in the Triangle in the last 27 hours have had to deal with some part of their future hitting the portal. Now, yesterday we talked about, and we will continue to talk about, there is some breaking news here. Mark Mitchell from Duke and Seth Trimble from UNC went into the portal yesterday. Cam Woods of NC State into the portal, according to Pack Pride, just less than 15 minutes ago. On 3 Sports also, it's been confirmed all over the place. Here's the takeaway. You have to be prepared for every and any player on your team to decide it's time to move on. A 2-year starter that averages double-digit points for an Elite 8 team? Portal. The number 3, a bench player, but the 3rd leading vote getter for ACC 6th Man of the Year, who could be expected to take on a bigger role next year? Portal. What about a player who just portaled into your school and wasn't even eligible at the beginning of the year, became eligible and has an opportunity to grow into a bigger role? Portal. Now, without names, I just described Mark Mitchell at Duke, Seth Trimble at UNC, and Cam Woods at NC State. The coaches that are adapting quicker are better set up for success because these situations are going to be on your doorstep whether you want to acknowledge it or not. So the irony of this all is when you talk John Shire, when you talk Hubert Davis, when you talk Kevin Keats, when you talk about any coach, we're so tempted to say, how great are they at player development? We're so tempted to say, how great are they at talent evaluation? We're so tempted to say, how great are they at in-game X's and O's, substitutions? How great are they at drawing up plays and sets? Actually, the UConn National Championship against Purdue was one of the few times I saw Twitter getting really excited about, like, plays. They're talking about how awesome the scheme was for UConn and how cutters were wide open and they always seemed one step ahead of Purdue. We think about coaching so much in those traditional ways. I'm starting to think that one of, if not the most important thing a coach can do is not panic and adjust in team building. You're going to think you have your roster built in a certain way, and you're going to think your job is done. And for a century of college basketball, you would have been. Right? You got commitments from the recruits to fill the positions that you need, and you have these guys returning. You would have been cool taking the wife and kids on a vacation. Right? When everybody enrolls in school and gets back for summer workouts, I'll be here. But the job is done. Not anymore. Now it's cool. I like the way my team is. Oh, wait, we got to replace our starting power forward. Cool. I like the way our team is. Oh, wait, we got to replace our sixth man from last year. Cool. I like the way our team is. Or even, cool, I like the plan we have for how to assemble our team. Wait, scrap that plan. A guy I was expecting to have a bigger role next year isn't going to be here.
Yeah, one of my starters for the last 2 years is gone.
It's that quick. So who do you trust? More to scramble out of those three coaches is in a lot of ways who you think's program has the brighter future. Because there's more coming. I was going to say just now, next offseason there's going to be more departures, and they're going to have to scramble again. I'm not even going to – there's more coming this year. There are players that will hit the portal that we haven't heard yet from schools in the Triangle. I'm almost guaranteed of it, and that's without insider information. That's not me saying, like, I talked to a sophomore who's – no, I'm saying just look around.
I mean, it's almost inevitable.
It's almost inevitable. Did you just snap?
Yes.
All right. That was to show how quick it could be? Is that what that was? Okay.
Like Thanos.
I didn't know if you were. Oh, okay. Even bigger snap. And based on the last 2 years, look at those coaches: Hubert Davis, John Shire, Kevin Keats. We can guess how they're going to attack this, right? If they're all put on their heels, they're all reacting, they all have to scramble now. We have a good idea of how they're going to handle it, right? Duke will promote from within. Player transfers out, they're going to look to their high school recruits, either this year, meaning the freshmen this year, or next year's recruiting class, to play bigger minutes. Somebody transfers out, okay, cool. Mark Mitchell transfers out. Maybe it's Sean Stewart taking those minutes, a freshman that didn't play much. Maybe it's TJ Power, a freshman that didn't play much. Maybe it's part of the number one recruiting class incoming that'll take those minutes. I would not expect them to go get a second or third leading scorer out of the transfer portal. I think they can go get a veteran presence, like more of a role player.
Like they did with Ryan Young. Ryan Young was a transfer for 2 years.
But it doesn't appear as if they look for difference makers in the portal. They promote from within. UNC, Seth Trimble leaves, they have no problem looking for a difference maker in the portal. There's not a role that they don't feel comfortable filling in the portal, with the acknowledgement that there are certain cornerstones that they have on their roster. Right? If R.J. Davis comes in, there's probably not going to be a major shooting guard. If R.J. Davis stays, I should say. There probably won't be a major shooting guard out of the portal. But if they can get maybe a taller, more 3-and-D style wing, absolutely. If they can get a post player, absolutely. They can use Seth Trimble's scholarship on whatever they need. Remember, last year at this time, the Harrison Ingram, the Cormac Ryan, like all of these guys were coming in from the portal.
Jalen
Withers, Paxton Wojcik, like all of these guys were portal players. And then you know what NC State's going to do.
Oh, yeah.
The transfer portal giveth, the transfer portal taketh away. They brought Cam Woods out of the portal. He's gone in less than a year later. They'll bring somebody else in. They know the way to the portal. Which do you like best? I think as a fan, you're tempted to say Duke's way is the best because then you just get to know players. Like, hey, I got to know that guy. I was excited when they recruited him, and now he gets his chance. I think from a success standpoint, it's hard to argue with really any of the three. They've all had some form of success in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I think it's better to build like Duke.
It might be, because the analogy I said to you earlier was there's a lot of noise when it comes to in the recruiting process, whether it's transfers or, hey, I didn't recruit this guy because I didn't expect, one player on my team to all of a sudden hit the transfer portal, so I didn't recruit this person. Now I'm scrambling. The best way to handle the noise is when you already turn the volume down before it even starts. And that's what Duke is doing right now. Like, you know what? We're just going to get our own guys. We'll build from within. That way we don't have to worry about scrambling to get 5 guys out of the portal.
And you get to tell your young guys there's a chance.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's very difficult when somebody is unproven to bring in a transfer over them and then look at them in the eye. Because unproven doesn't mean not good. It means you didn't really get the chance.
Yeah.
Like, if Duke were to bring in a 3-man to replace Mark Mitchell, a 4-man, 3.5-man, right? That kind of forward combo spot to replace Mark Mitchell. How do you then look at Sean Stewart and TJ Power, right? They didn't play very much this past year. And then what are they saying, right, to the people from their state's AAU programs, right? It's like, I don't know, man. I went there and they didn't really give me a shot, and they brought in a transfer to take my job. The fact of the matter is this. It's not going anywhere, and how you handle it, both as a human and a coach, impacts your program moving forward. Right? Because the elite basketball world is a much smaller world than you think. Right? All the AAU teams, they talk. Chris Paul has an elite AAU program that he runs. I think he said something like 12 of them have played against him in the NBA. Like, it's a small world at the elite level. They talk. He has to tell G.G. Jackson, a guy that he coached, to stop calling him coach when they're playing against each other on the NBA floor. The guy will score against him and be like, hey, coach, no, don't call me coach.
No, we're equals now.
Call me CP or a bad word.
It's like Mr. Paul.
Cliff Paul. State Farm. It's Cam Woods in the portal, for those that haven't just tuning in. An NC State player transferred in last year, transferring out this year. It is a conveyor belt on the portal in the ACC.
The volatility of college athletic rosters is just unprecedented.
I'm easily unprecedented because there's things that weren't available.
You didn't see it even 3 years ago. You weren't seeing this.
I don't think players knew how much option they had 3 years ago. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All of this plays into how confident and how concerned we are about the programs in the ACC. So coming up next, we're going to do cons and cons for each of the ACC programs in the state of North Carolina. Right now, I'm going to tell you about my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over, North Carolina. Matter of fact, about a month ago, it was over. And since then, the official sports betting partner of NASCAR, DraftKings Sportsbook, has been live right here in our state. You can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces, and bet $5, you'll receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. There is a rather large and important golf tournament taking place over the weekend. It's one of my favorite things to throw a couple dollars on. There's players I'm always picking. There's storylines. It's makes the entire event more enjoyable for me. If it sounds like fun to you, you can check it out on DraftKings. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD, that's TIMD, and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. Cons and cons. What are we most confident in and concerned about for each of the 4 basketball programs in the ACC in North Carolina? Coming up after this.
What are you doing?
I'm training for the new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs. I could get a chance to dash through a warehouse full of prizes.
That explains the shopping cart.
Plus, I could win up to $2 million in cash.
And that explains the tuxedo.
I'm chafing.
Feel the rush with new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.78. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Dude Perfect here. Power up with the new smoothie we created with Smoothie King. It's loaded with pineapple, banana, kiwi apple juice, and more. Straw me, boys. Perfect shot. Get the Dude Perfect smoothie only at Smoothie King.
The best thing about pollen? It's temporary. Just like the Autobell Car Wash Pollen Pass. Enjoy 3 months of unlimited car washes. Get your pass today and save at any Autobell. And when the pollen ends, so does your plan.
People can tell when you Autobell.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes. With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges on your tax debt daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you will owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is, getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima Tax have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Body Armor State Games are coming to Charlotte this June. Registration is open to athletes of all ages and skill levels in 25 different sports. The Body Armor State Games feature 13,000 athletes and 700 teams. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Visit bodyarmorstategames.org today. The Body Armor State Games are proud to partner with Truist, Harris Teeter, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina.
Adam Gold in studio with my man, the man himself, Sammy Hanna, owner-operator of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. So Friday and Saturday, open house?
This Friday, Saturday, Adam. We're looking forward to not only all of our homeowners coming, you're coming out. We're going to have Doherty's food truck on Friday, Van's food truck.
Food trucks.
Absolutely. Van's food truck on Saturday, ice cream trucks both days. It's just a great time to socialize, come out, meet and greet, see all of the radio station talent. All of my employees will be there. All my sales staff will be there to help educate all the homeowners on all the products. We've got some great free drawings, free giveaways.
Yeah.
Can't beat that. And just come out and socialize. We're here to meet and greet and just talk to you about anything you want to talk about.
If you have a project, just bring some pictures. But it's cool to meet you guys, and I like hanging out in all the windows.
That's what it's all about, just hanging out. And you bring pictures. We'll be glad to go over any questions or concerns you've got.
Aluminum Company of North Carolina for the spring open house, Friday and Saturday on Hamlin Road in Durham, aluminumcompany.com.
At WakeMed MyCare 365, we deliver convenience others only talk about. Every day of the year. Primary care and urgent care under one roof. Multiple locations, virtual visits, walk-in or schedule an appointment online. From annual physicals and routine care to sinus infection, strep, or the flu, we couldn't be more convenient. Learn more about our kind of care and our kind of convenience at wakemed.org.
Get a great deal this spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a Trane.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
Confidence and concerns. Cons and cons. This is our season ending for the ACC men's basketball programs, cons and cons. So this is an overarching how the programs move forward, what we're confident and concerned in. All season we've been doing the details. This 10,000 feet above the bird's eye view. As always, we go in order of the podium, so our season-long podium. Had Wake Forest off the podium. We start with them. My confidence is, after concerns, because we always go bad news first. My concern is they are 4 years into the Steve Forbes era. No NCAA tournament appearances. And so much of college basketball right now is about belief and momentum. Right? When every single player, even the players on your own roster, have a decision to make every offseason on whether they want to play for your team or any other team that wants them. They have to weigh those options, right? That's what the portal allows. We were just talking about it. You need to instill belief that they can achieve what they want to achieve on your team. And I mean, how awesome is March Madness, right? How unbelievably fun does it look for the players to be in an NCAA tournament game? They want that. You know what I mean? And do they believe that they can have that at Wake Forest under Steve Forbes after 4 consecutive years of not getting there? Meanwhile, the other is true as well, right? If you go on a little run, it feels like you have momentum. Everybody's like, oh, I can be the piece that takes them even further, and you want to go play for those programs, and that's not happening with Wake Forest right now. So it's my concern is that in an era where buzz and momentum are more important than they've ever been. You don't have the teams anymore. You know, let me go make sure I have this correct, because I was just gonna, computers are great, right? I was going to try to remember it, but I can just take me 2 seconds to Google it.
There you go.
Perfect. John Shire's national championship when he was a player, the 2009-2010 season. The 3 before that made it to the first round, made it to the second round, made it to the regional semifinal, won the national championship, right? So that is becoming so much less normal, where a team can learn and grow, and then, hey, there's the success. Because it's like when you're learning and growing, it might not look aesthetically pleasing. So then it's like, I don't want to be here. I want to go somewhere else. Or nobody wants to join that team. They're struggling. It's like, they're learning, and it's going to pay dividends later. Wake Forest has had 4 years of not playing in the tournament. There's a lot of I don't know if I want to go there. They might be learning and growing, but it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing right now. Dennis, what's your concern for Wake?
My concern is patience going to run thin? Kind of tying into okay, we've been close many times, but we haven't quite gotten there yet in terms of making the NCAA tournament. They're a tournament-level team this season. That roster, tournament-level team. No reason why they couldn't have at least made it to the second round of the NCAA tournament.
Or qualified for the NCAA
tournament.
Qualified.
I mean, I think they were good. I think that roster honestly was good enough to win at least one game. But is patience going to run thin? Not just with, I'm talking the administration.
Are you talking hot seat style stuff?
A little bit, yeah. Is patience going to run thin, not only from administration, but also for players that are actually sticking around for a few years? It's just not working out really well. Or not working out to the level that they expect. They're so close, but yet still can't quite reach it. And it's been like that for a few years. I'll give Steve Forbes the first couple of years, coming right out of COVID, took the job right out of COVID. I pass on those years. 100% get a pass on those. But now it's okay, you're going into year 5. Time to do something.
I'm not even saying what my concern was completely deserve, right? Because you are right. There's some context and extenuating factors.
100%.
But like you have to look hard to see that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Players, they're getting 10 recruiting letters a day and visits from they're getting all this transfer portal messages per day. They're not going like, wow, they didn't make the tournament in the last 4 years under Coach Forbes. Well, let me look into why. They're just like, I don't know, this other team said they made it 6 of the last 7 years. Let me go there.
Yeah.
It's not always, a deep dive.
Like 4 years ago, these kids were in middle school.
Darn right. Confidence is ironic. I think Steve Forbes is going to be pretty good at keeping it in perspective.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is Boopy Miller is in the transfer portal. He's one of their contributors. The other 4, I think he's going to have a pretty good chance at keeping. That's Andrew Carr. That's Hunter Salas. That's Efton Reed and Cameron Hildreth. Those are 4 pretty good players, and I do think he'll be able to say we didn't achieve what we wanted to, but that's not because we didn't have the ability to. It's just we didn't execute. Let's give it another run. So, and he's kind of matter-of-fact like that, right? He's very relatable as a person. I think he'll be able to get that sales pitch pretty darn good, and that'll lead to returning a lot of talent, and if some things align, maybe even adding some talent. Dennis, what do you have?
The confidence is in Steve Forbes pulling out talented dudes from the transfer portal. I mean, look at Tyree Appleby a couple of years ago, one of the leading scorers in the ACC. Andrew Carr a couple of years ago. Efton Reed. The guy pulls talent from the transfer portal, but also his background as a JUCO basketball coach, he's used to I have a new roster every single year. So he's used to that. So I think that's actually an advantage for him, is that he understands, all right, year in and year out, I'm going to have a very different roster. So I think for me, that's the confidence I have in Steve Forbes. The guy pulls some great talent out of the transfer portal.
Let's go to Duke. They were the bronze medalists. Confidence and concerns. We're playing the game here on 99.9 The Fan. My concern, actually, I'm gonna do both.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, I throw mine together because they're kind of paired.
Sure.
My confidence is the recruiting.
Yeah.
My concern is getting the absolute most out of the recruiting. They repeatedly, and Shire, give them credit. I wish, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. My son just turned 3, so we're a long way from this. But not because I'm like the pushy parent that wants him to be an athlete because I liked athletics and, I want him to, like, I'm going to live vicariously through him. But I do hope that he ends up like a 5-star recruit, just because I want to hear what coaches tell 5-star recruits. I'm just curious. I want to be a fly on the wall, right? I want to be sitting in the recliner while they're talking to him on the couch and just be like, what are they saying? Because I don't know what John Shire says to get all the 5 stars to commit to Duke, but it has to be magical, right? It has to be. Or what Nick Saban used to tell recruits to go to Alabama, where you're like, you're a 5-star running back. You could go to literally any school on the country and start as a freshman, but I want you to come here where you will sit behind 3 other 5 stars for 2 years. Sound good? And somehow they'd be like, absolutely, I'd like to sign on the dotted line as soon as possible. Like TJ Power barely played this year for Duke. He's one of the top 20 recruits in the country. He goes to most schools. They're like, he's I don't know, like Hercules. He's more than a human, but less than a god.
Like, all right, dude, go ahead and put up 15 shots.
It's like
every game.
And if you don't, we'll be mad. Like 25 if you're feeling froggy. And somehow he gets them to go to Duke where it's like, yeah, you might have to wait your turn. Their recruiting is through the roof. But at the same time, I'm not sure as of yet in Shire's tenure they've gotten the most out of that recruiting. Maybe it's because they're I don't know why, but I haven't quite seen against other elite opponents. I'm not sure they have like a massive just talent advantage. If you're bringing in the most talented recruiting class every year, and then we watch you against teams that are, again, against the non-conference opponents or a bottom half of the ACC team, obviously they're more talented. But when they get matched up with another, top-of-the-line program, I'm going, looks pretty even. I don't know if it should ever look even when you recruit the way they do. So there's my concern. And obviously, maybe the biggest and best test for that exact thing is this incoming recruiting class. Some people believe it's the best recruiting class of the last 10 years. If you get that on campus and you still don't look like you have the talent advantage, you got to start looking at how you're going to fix things because it's obviously there.
My concern is how do you replace 3 guys in the front court? I'm assuming Kyle Filipowski is going to be going into the NBA. I'm going to throw that caveat out there. But Filipowski, Mark Mitchell, Ryan Young, those are your 3 bigs this past season. Again, Ryan Young's graduated out of eligibility. Mark Mitchell, transfer portal. And again, I'm making the assumption Kyle Filipowski is going to the NBA. That's 3 dudes you got to replace in your front court. That's not going to be an easy thing to do.
You have the number 3 recruit in the country, a true 5-man Kamen Malawash.
Yep. That's one.
Sean Stewart.
Maybe it's Sean Stewart.
Maybe
okay,
there's portal.
Second. So again, replacing 3 guys in your front court is my concern.
And I will say this, even with those 3 guys in the portal, toughness and rim protection down low was a massive, I would say even if all 3 of those guys were coming back, you'd probably still want additional support coming to the down low.
Exactly. So that was kind of leading into what I was getting into. So when you replace those guys, are you also not only going to replace it with talent, but also the toughness aspect that we talked about as well? But here's my confidence when it comes to Duke right now. You mentioned these recruiting classes. They're getting older now. We've seen all these teams advance to the Final Four, have a lot of veteran players. Outside of, you have Ryan Young off the bench, was a graduate level player, but their main contributors that they had, their main core 6 before Caleb Foster got hurt, the only guy older than a sophomore was Jeremy Roach.
Yep.
That's it. And he was playing a little banged up. I think that foot was still bothering him.
And he
honestly.
might come back for a 5th year.
And he very well could come back for a 5th year. But you're going to see Tyrese Proctor is going to be a junior. You're going to see Caleb Foster is going to be a little bit older. Jeremy Roach, if he does come back, a little bit older. So these young guys, TJ Power, Sean Stewart, that year of experience matters. And I think that is a thing that with Duke this last couple of seasons, it was a super young roster overall. Super young. And I think just the playing time and experience together is what's going to benefit them. Because the talent is there. 100% the talent's there.
Very much so. Very much so. Which is kind of what we were getting at. Side note for Duke, just guys that were there a long time.
Yeah.
I was watching a video of the Grizzlies. I don't know what this is, and this is me being the oldest guy on the planet. Do you know what's the "What's Up, Brother" thing?
Maybe.
There's some online world that I'm not a part of.
Okay.
Where there's a joke where you put you point to the sky and you say, "What's up, brother?" or something like that. I don't know what it is. But they were doing a social media video for the Grizzlies where they were saying, "What's up, brother?" to all of the players as they walked into the arena and seeing which ones got the joke. Jack White was one of them from Duke. Guy's still in the league.
Jack White.
The Australian team captain, I was like, oh, that guy. I remember him. Like the veteran for the Zion, RJ Barrett, that group. And they didn't even go on. I mean, they bowed out in the Sweet 16, but that group needed the veteran, and he was kind of one of them. No matter how talented your recruiting class is, you need the veteran. Or a couple of them, or half of them. Again, I don't know there's so many young people, if you're listening right now, making fun of me. I just don't know what it is. Did you say, yeah, all right, we're good with Duke. Let's go to UNC.
Yep.
My concern, this one's simple. Seth Trimble's leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like Seth Trimble. I think he was uniquely suited for his role off the bench.
He's perfect for it.
Great perimeter defender, electric athlete. So it's kind of like if the starters started sluggish, you put him in the game and you're almost guaranteed to get a zap, get a jolt. And him leaving is tough, right? Because those players don't grow on trees. I think he could have grown into a bigger role, and I think that's probably what he's looking for. But him leaving is like, oh, man, you couldn't make life enjoyable enough for one of your 6 or 7 contributors. I think they're going to miss him. I think they're going to miss his skill set, his disposition, and a lot about him. So Seth Trimble leaving is my concern.
My concern for North Carolina, how do you fill all these holes? Especially if R.J. Davis and Harrison Ingram both leave. Because Harrison Ingram could potentially be a draft pick this upcoming year. He could go to the NBA. May not be a first-round pick, but that is an option for him. And who knows what R.J. Davis decides to do with his fifth year. Does he come back to North Carolina for a fifth year like Bacot did? Does he test the waters and try to go pro? Who knows? We won't know until, obviously, we hear an announcement from both those guys. But that's a big question mark between both those guys because those are two of your starters. If Davis and Ingram all go, the only person that you have coming back from your starters last year is Elliot Cadeau. So you're looking at, then with Seth Trimble going into the transfer portal, Jalen Withers is also out of eligibility. Potentially 7 of your top 8 guys are not going to be there.
My confidence is going to be hilarious.
Big-time turnover.
In contrast to your confidence.
What's that?
My confidence is getting star players to stay. I think there's a good chance both Davis and Ingram come back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confident they'll be able to make that happen.
I think the big replacement for me is replacing Bacot.
Which
he was the linchpin.
I would say that, and that's life in college. That's like eligibility expiring is always part of it. Some might say R.J. Davis should have. This is the last year, by the way, we have to deal with COVID years.
Yes.
I think
This will be the last year.
This is the last group that was in.
It's like R.J. Davis, Caleb Love. These guys are that class. Michael
Jeremy
O'Connell, Jeremy Roach.
So I think R.J. Davis stays. I think Harrison Ingram stays. Armando Bacot stayed.
He did.
Not many programs have all-conference players that are around in college for 4 or 5 years without either transferring to another school or trying to go pro or just being done. I think R.J. Davis might be that dude. So I'm confident in UNC's ability to keep their players. Let's quickly jump to NC State.
We need confidence.
Your confidence.
Oh, my confidence. My confidence is actually Hubert Davis, what we've seen, his ability to blend homegrown talent with transfers.
Which he proved this year.
Let's
jump to NC State because we're running out of time. My concern is rebuilding kind of from scratch every year is very tough. And the last 2 years they've done that. Even with some players returning from 2 years ago to last year, with how much in influx of new guys they have, it's still kind of starting over. Even if it's just starting over as their group. So replacing DJ Burns, emotional center, replacing DJ Horn, most consistent center of their team, and replacing Casey Morsell, the longest kind of tenured leader of their team. That's a lot of identity that's leaving, and rebuilding an identity every year is really tough. So that's my concern.
Concern is who becomes your go-to scorer next year because DJ Horn out of eligibility. Who's going to be that go-to scorer for your team?
My confidence is momentum.
Yeah.
Everything I said that I didn't like about Wake Forest, where it's like everybody is making a decision whether they want to play for you or not, players on your team, players in the portal, recruits, every offseason have to make that decision. When you don't have momentum, it probably feels like everybody doesn't want to play with you. You feel like Steven Glansberg, for those of you that remember the movie Superbad. He's the guy that ate lunch by himself.
Yep.
But on the flip side, like NC State, just, they're the kids in the neighborhood, the only ones with the pool and the trampoline. Everybody wants to play with them, right? They just got the new diving board. They have a new basketball hoop out front. They have the new trampoline. Everybody's like, what are you doing on Saturday? I want to come over to your house. Like, everybody wants to hang out with NC State right now. They have the momentum.
My confidence is the fill-in for the guys that are leaving, DJ Burns, DJ Horn, is that the fill-ins might be already on your roster. Dennis Parker Jr., who had to miss a stretch of time, was healthy.
I really liked what he did in the first part of the season. His role disintegrated.
One thing is that, but also like a health thing, and he was actually able to come back and play in the Final Four, though he didn't see playing time, but he was healthy to actually practice and all that kind of stuff.
On the bench, in uniform.
So that could be him. Breon Pass extended role. Who knows what MJ Rice might bring for your team next year? The pieces might already be on your roster.
There you have it, everybody. That is Cons and Cons here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Real quick, everybody, text keyword KING, K-I-N-G, KING to 919-860-5326 to enter for a chance to win a $25 Smoothie King gift card. A $25 Smoothie King gift card. Your chance to win is a text away. Text KING to 919-860-5326 to enter for your chance to win. Right now, I want to tell you about my partners over at Window Nation. It is that time of year we all know what it is. You never know what the temperature is going to be when you walk outside. I have a smart speaker in my house. Every morning I'm like, hey, smart speaker, what's the weather going to be like? And they tell me, then I walk outside and I go, that smart speaker's a liar because it's changed in that 10 minutes or whatever it is. Well, the fact of the matter is changing that temperature, changing the wind, changing the precipitation, all of it is constantly testing your windows. And if your windows are failing, it's costing you money. If the caulking, the seal, the actual glass is not doing its job, your energy bill is unnecessarily high because you're basically paying to change temperature of outside. Window Nation can come in, give you brand new windows, make sure the UV rays are being controlled, make sure every room in your house is usable, and save you money on your energy bill every single month while boosting the value of your home. And best of all, they can do it with a great deal. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. Window Nation's professional installation teams have over 10 years of experience. They can install your windows in 1 day or less, and Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. Give them a call right now for a free, no-obligation quote that includes the opportunity to come to your house and give you some demonstrations on the science behind it all. The number to call, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or you can visit them online at windownation.com to schedule. That is windownation.com. Football 4 coming up next, including an underrated way that Andy Dalton is wildly important for the Carolina Panthers. And one more thing for you here. I have a chance for you to see the Storm Surge in person. It is time to qualify for our 10K playoff payout right now. Everybody listen up. Right now, be caller number 9 to 919-860-5326. I'll read that number again in a second. Call in right now, be caller number 9, and you'll have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000. Caller number 9 to 919-860-5326. We'll have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000. Listen tomorrow for another chance to be a part of the 10K playoff payout driven by your Carolina Ford dealer. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, see your Carolina Ford dealer today. Back with football at 4, and we'll qualify someone for the 10K playoff payout next.
99.9 The Fan and Dogwood State Bank congratulate the North Carolina State basketball men's and women's programs on their historic runs in this year's NCAA tournaments. Their amazing play leading to the final basketball weekends in Phoenix and Cleveland provided us memories to last an entire lifetime. Thanks for inspiring us to never give up. Thanks for making us all believers. Once again, Dogwood State Bank congratulates the North Carolina State basketball men's and women's programs on their amazing play. Go Pack!
The moment we've been waiting for has arrived. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today using code NEWNCBG. Then place your first bet of $5 or more. Win or lose, you'll receive $150 in bonus bets. Open to new users in North Carolina who are 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos or the promos tab in the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagamenc.gov. Tribal Casino Gaming Enterprise is a licensed operator by the North Carolina State Lottery Commission.
Pulling up to Mickey D's just for drinks? Oh yeah, that's me. Nothing extra, just perfection and a straw. Coming in hot for the coldest cups on the block. Because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
Now get an ice cold lemonade, frozen Coca-Cola, or iced coffee. Any size for just $1.79.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my my own approach.
Today, Dr. Shinecup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
O'Reilly Auto Parts offers more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also test your battery, install your new wiper blades, and diagnose your check engine light for free. For the best service, advice, auto parts, and accessories, stop by the new O'Reilly Auto Parts in Bunn on Main Street next to Hardee's.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's Brews, Blues, and Barbecue, Saturday, April 13th from 3 till 9 at Hugger Mugger Brewing in downtown Sanford. And you don't want to miss it. Live bands, a barbecue cook-off, and the beer hall all in one afternoon. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours today at eventbrite.com.
Big Golf Week equals big golf news. Global Golf's retail location has been redesigned with you in mind. Now, North Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf gear has so much more. We've added hundreds of pre-owned golf clubs to the sales floor. And this week only, save up to 20% on your entire pre-owned order. Plus, Global Golf has all the latest golf gear to get you ready for the season. And our PGA professionals are here to help you with fittings and lessons. Global Golf, open Monday through Saturday, 10 till 6. 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh.
America's favorite car show returns to Raleigh with cool cars, cool people, and good times. It's the Good Guys Night, Griot's Garage, North Carolina National. And it's all happening April 19th through the 21st at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Check out over 1,500 of the Southeast's finest classes. Shop the swap meet in Vendor Midway. Experience the Metal Crunch and Saturday Night Demolition Derby and so much more. And don't miss the return of high-octane Good Guys CPP Autocross racing action all weekend long. It's all going down April 19th through the 21st at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Get details at good-guys.com.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Shoots, he scores!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Variably cloudy skies for us this afternoon. We may see a few peaks of sunshine and a nice warm 75 degrees. A few isolated showers overnight tonight with a low of 63. And tomorrow will be cloudy. We have a good chance for scattered storms. A level 1 risk of severe weather. Damaging winds would be our biggest threat. The storms are likely between noon and the evening commute. We'll see a high of 73.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 422 points to 38,461.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time to hopefully qualify another contestant for our 10K playoff payout. Caller number 9 is on the line. It is Seth from Chapel Hill. Seth, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
All right. Now we're going to ask you a trivia question. These are extremely difficult, and you have to pay attention very closely. I hope you hear the sarcasm in my voice. Are you ready?
All right.
All right. What are the team colors for the Carolina Hurricanes?
I'm going to go with red, black, and white there.
Look at that.
Let's go. Most confident answer we've had all
Way to go,
week.
Seth. These questions are not meant to trick you, and you did an excellent job of just answering it and being right, which is what we want to have happen.
Right.
So you are, there you go. You're qualified. 10K playoff payout. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you. So go ahead and stick on the line, but congratulations.
Thanks, man.
All right. Listen tomorrow, everybody else, everyone not named Seth from Chapel Hill or one of the 2 previous contestants from earlier this week. Listen tomorrow for another chance to be part of the 10K playoff payout driven by your Carolina Ford dealer for great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. I like that. That one was much more cut and dry opening close than the previous two. All right, here we go. Football at 4 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton. His role as Bryce Young's friend in that facility, I think, is pretty darn important. Andy Dalton was on with Jim Rome earlier this week, and he started talking about the Panthers, obviously. Started talking about Bryce Young, obviously, and we have a clip here for you on part of what Andy was saying about Bryce and the Panthers.
I thought he handled it well. He's never in his life had a season like that and had to handle the adversity that he had to deal with. It was a tough year, and then you throw in losing your head coach after 11 games and changes on offense and all the things that went into it. It was tough. And so I think for him, I thought he handled it well, and I kept telling him just stay the course. This thing is going to get better. It's going to improve. And I think what we have done this off season, bringing in some guys, bringing in a couple guards on the offensive line, different things, trading for Deontay Johnson. I think it's getting built the right way where, it's going to set him up to have a better year.
I heard that clip from Andy Dalton, and it got me thinking. He's the only one in Bryce Young's inner circle of kind of the offense that is a familiar voice from last year. He's the only one that was around last year. I think that role is important. I think it's nice to have someone that can remind you you're not crazy. That is how it was. Right? I always joke that I think the most important people to somebody that becomes really famous are like your high school friends or your middle school friends. You need the people around to have the moments with where you're like, how crazy is this? Maybe the best example of this in Hollywood, right, in cinema, is the ready for this? The pilot. That's the word I'm looking for. The pilot of Entourage. If you're unfamiliar with Entourage, it's a movie that was on HBO, a couple decades ago maybe, and they have the movie star friend, and he brings his friends from back home out to Hollywood, and they're at a Jessica Alba party. Jessica Alba's throwing a party, and they're out back, and they're looking out over the LA skyline, the Hollywood skyline, and they have the moment of, look how far we've come. We are standing here in this moment, looking at this party. Did you ever think this was possible? And then they immediately go, what are we doing staring at the lights? There's an awesome party behind us with a bunch of cool people. Let's go to that. But the thing is, they had someone else there to have that conversation with. Bryce Young, at a certain point this season, hopefully will be watching film, and he's going to watch whoever they draft with the 39th overall pick at wide receiver and Deontay Johnson both be open on the same play. And he's going to watch himself have time in the pocket to make the throw. And if they look at the scoreboard in the corner, it's going to say that they are ahead in the fourth quarter of a game, which did not happen at all last year. I know they won 2 games, but they were both on game-winning field goals as time expired. So they're going to be ahead in the fourth quarter. Multiple wide receivers are going to get open. He's going to have time to throw it, and he's going to want somebody there to look around and go, did you ever think we would be here? Did you ever think we'd make it? And he's going to need someone else there. Andy Dalton is the guy to go, I didn't, but we better enjoy it, right? Do you remember how crazy it was when our offensive coordinator and our head coach didn't get along and they were both running to the owner trying to complain about the other, and we didn't have any wide receivers that were getting open, and our offensive line was getting blown up, and we didn't win at all in the fourth quarter of any games at all for an entire season, and we didn't even own our first pick to get excited about?
The coach got fired.
Coach got fired. Everybody was talking about how the interim from the previous year was the coach that we should have had, and we didn't even play for that guy, but we were even kind of wondering what it would be like to play for him.
Remember when?
Like when Bryce Young looks to Dave Canales. Dave Canales is drawing up a play, and Bryce just goes, Dave, you don't understand what we were going through last year. Andy is his only cosign. Andy is the only one going, nah, Bryce isn't exaggerating. We really did used to try to do that. We really did have to overcome that. We really did. Andy and Bryce are forever bonded by what they went through last year. It's the Junction Boys, right? You suffer together, you bond. That was like that's the entire that's the entire plot of all of the movies where you go away to training camp and they make your life absolutely miserable, right? If you suffer together, the bonds that are born in that suffering are unbreakable.
Like the movie Miracle.
Like the movie Miracle, like Junction Boys, like Remember the Titans, like any of the movies where they go on a training camp. Again. Like that all that matters is that you suffered and you got through it. Well, guess what? Andy Dalton and Bryce Young suffered through last year and they got through it. And I think that matters. That voice in the locker room matters. So Andy Dalton playing the role of Junction Boy, Remember the Titans training camp, Julius Campbell, Gary Bertier / friend from high school for Bryce Young, playing that role as a guy who's, 10 years older than him and won a whole bunch of games in the NFL is wildly important. And I do think it's nice to have one voice that was around, one familiar voice, right? You don't. Everything else shifted. New head coach, new coordinator, everything else. Go ahead. New quarterbacks coach, fine. New receivers, love it. I think it's nice to have one voice there, and you could tell Andy kind of understood the deal in that comment that we just played. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
It's like, hey, you don't have to go through that mess anymore, remember?
Remember that mess is such a fun game to play with people that were there with you.
It's like, hey, Bryce, I know you're thinking this is like things are kind of hard right now. Remember when?
Do you know what story nobody ever tells? Like you get together at Thanksgiving with your family. Do you know what story no one ever tells? Remember that one time we were at the airport and our flight was on time and we boarded at a normal hour? We got on, we took off, we landed 15 minutes early, and then we got to where we were going? No one ever tells that story. But do you know what gets laughs every single time when the family gets together at Thanksgiving? Remember that time we had to spend the night in the Atlanta airport? Then we woke up the next day and our flight still wasn't ready. And you ate all the we went to Orange Julius. You had the big smoothie and you were allergic to the oranges. Like when everything just gets worse and worse and like to come out on the other side of that, those are the good stories. Andy Dalton and Bryce Young, like 10 years from now, are going to laugh on a podcast about everything that took place last night. And that's going to help them this year. Hopefully. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan, none of that stuff. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. You can use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for a home improvement project. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval, it's just minutes away. So call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
It's time for Hit It and Quit It. We have Canes. We have Canes. We have more Canes. We have Durham Bulls. There's a lot to get to coming up next on Hit It and Quit It here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
47 seconds left in overtime. Jarvis now with speed. Dropper, Natchez, he scores! Natchez in overtime, and the Canes win it 3-2.
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold, your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bo time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
He's one of those kids that only laughs at real anger. I don't know if you've ever met one of those peaches, but see, most 2- and 3-year-olds, they laugh at manufactured anger. You can go up to a kid that age and just go, "Rawr," and they're like, and this kid's like, I want to see your blood pressure spike, man.
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to PNC Arena Raleigh, April 14th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Sammy Hanna, owner and operator of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. The company goes back to 1961. I don't think any of your sales staff was there in 1961, but you guys have been there a long time. It's amazing.
Yeah, we don't unfortunately have any salesmen that go back that far, but with our experience levels, it feels like we do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a great sales staff of 6 currently. Dallas Burrell, Patrick Day, Ryan Monsine, John Alexander, Jeff Hoffman, and Danny Newman, who have hundreds of years of experience in the home improvement industry. Most of our guys are general contractors, so we can get out there and assess your home and develop a plan that works for your home improvement needs.
I know Danny helped me back in 1999, so he's been there for at least 25 years. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, and you say 1999 like it's yesterday, but 1999 was 25 years ago.
It feels like yesterday. You guys did great work. Aluminum Company of North Carolina. They'll treat you like family on Hamlin Road in Durham, aluminumcompany.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for Hit It and Quit It. This is where we line up the biggest stories in sports, things we find interesting, things we think you will find interesting. We line them up and we knock them down. We hit it and quit it, and we move on. Starting with, I'll get it started, lead off. The Canes have 50 wins.
They do.
For the 3rd straight year.
That's right.
Now,
I think the only franchise right now that has currently done that for the last 3 seasons.
Interesting part in this hat tip to Dennis Cox for passing this along to me earlier today. I believe, did you say every NHL team that has won 50 games for 3 straight years?
Yeah, actually, I'll give credit. The hat tip now goes to Paul Eihander, our program director. So there have been, I think, 5 times in NHL history where, I guess this being the 5th time, where a franchise has won 50 or more games for 3 straight seasons, or at least 3 straight seasons. It was the Detroit Red Wings back about in the 2000s, the aughts, and then like 3 franchises did it in the 70s. Every single one of those franchises won at least one Stanley Cup during those stretch of at least 3+ seasons, where they won 50 games in a row.
So ipso facto,
Canes are going to win the Stanley Cup.
This is the year, right?
If there's proof that it's going to happen, this is it.
Causation or correlation? There's debates there.
Yes.
However, winning 50 games 3 straight years does show, I would say at the very least, right? But as proven by the previous times to do it, it shows that you have the talent and ability to win a Stanley Cup. Now, are you going to? Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is set in stone. But they have the talent and ability to do so, or else you wouldn't be able to do it. I'd also say, I think this is their most talented and complete team of the 3, based on what they did at the trade deadline. They now have a bit more offensive pop.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have, Canes culture and Canes everything on the defensive end. Rod Brindamore wouldn't have it any other way.
This is the best team that they've ever had. Outside of like the 06 championship
I was going to say,
team.
including 06? Nah,
I mean, this is the best team that they've had.
If they win it all, I don't think that would even be debated.
Probably not.
It would be a 2-contender race, and recency bias alone.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of recency
A lot of
bias.
I don't even remember what they did in 06. This year was fun, though. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
You like that? You like that? Speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes in the NHL, the NHL Players Association put a survey out to players anonymously, basically asking different questions. Hey, if there's a goaltender that you needed to win one game, who's it going to be? You need someone to be your lockdown defender. Who's it going to be? Your top scorer, you got to pick one player in the league. Who's it going to be? A lot of Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers, understandably so. He's the best player on the planet. It's from Krypton, I'm pretty sure.
They give him he's beating defensive players, and who would you not want to see on their own half, their own side of the ice? And he's beating all the forwards and stick handling reputation. And who would you Connor McDavid is respected by his peers.
So there are some questions out there, for example, what's the toughest building to play in the NHL? PNC Arena ranks 2nd behind Vegas.
Behind T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
Arena in Vegas.
PNC got 16.31% of the over 500 votes from players on the survey.
PNC Arena is loud.
It's loud. I think there's a bunch of things that go into it. I think the crowd.
Yes,
Hockey
massively.
Town. Everybody that goes to games, they hear you. This is confirmation of it. I also think part of it is the Canes are good. So
there's that too.
It's you don't want to just attribute it to that. You don't want to just be like, oh, well, they beat us because they're good. You want to be like, oh, they have a great atmosphere. Their home ice advantage is huge. It's
they keep attacking us in waves and it never stops, and their crowd's super loud.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going there. There were two other of the questions where a Cane or the Canes Arena was in the top 5. One of them, which player is most difficult to face in their own end? Jacob Slavin. 3rd, 7.9%, behind Victor Hedman and, as I mentioned earlier, Connor McDavid. And the other one is, if you need to win a face-off, who would you pick? Jordan Staal squeaked into the top 5 in 5th with a 5.98%.
Okay.
Behind only Ryan O'Reilly, Sidney Crosby, Claude Giroux, and Luke Glendening.
Okay. All top-level face-off guys.
Yeah. I thought more interesting were the omissions.
Okay.
Because those, Slavin, McDavid, how do you really judge those? They're so different. How do you judge them? I'm who would you not want to face in your own end? It's well, what's the situation here? But I don't really have a problem with the inclusions by the Canes. I thought it was funny. I have all the questions here that no Cane was listed in. You need to win one game. Who's the forward you want on your team? Who is the best stick handler? Who's the most complete player? Best breakout passer? Best playmaker? No Canes in any of those.
I'm okay with it.
Maybe I have an inferiority complex on behalf of Sebastian Aho.
Okay.
I think he should be. I wish we could see. I wish they would in 5th grade, you're just writing answers. In 6th grade, they want you to explain them in essay form. Like, I want them to explain. I want to know who was 6th. Like, who did you have a hard time not including in your top 5? Like, I want to make sure he's at least in the conversation. Even if he's not in the top 5 for any of these, I want to make sure he's at least in the conversation. Because the omissions get me.
I think it just goes to show you how complete the team is as a whole.
Which is part of the reason why I think Aho is underrated.
Yeah.
Is because it's like when a quarterback has great wide receivers and everyone's like, well, you could put me at quarterback. I'd throw for 300 with those wide receivers. You're like, no, you wouldn't. That's a lie. That's dumb. It's like, Aho does. If you gave me the supporting cast and the defense behind him and that system, I could score too. It's, no, you couldn't. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't try. You'd hurt yourself. He's pretty darn good. Again, it could just be I have an inferiority complex on behalf of him, but Sebastian Aho should be on the list somewhere. Pick a spot, put him in it. Not all of them, just one of them. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
What?
All right. Dennis, I need you
okay.
I need you to explain some things to me.
Okay.
Why does it feel like every draft pick in the history of the Carolina Hurricanes has signed an entry-level deal in the last 4 days?
There have been a lot of those over the last few days, including, so we talked about last week when we were at Durham Bulls Athletic Park, Scott Morrow, defenseman out of UMass.
The first one made a lot of sense to me. The Scott Morrow signing makes a lot of sense. He might actually even see the ice here in the next couple of games.
Possibly.
So it's like, all right, if you need to get him on the ice, if you want him available in emergency situations in the postseason, he has to be under contract, so sign him to a contract. It's Jackson Blake signed today.
Yes.
He's one of the best players in college this past year.
He is a finalist for the Hobie Baker. For those who don't know what the Hobie Baker Award is, think of the Heisman Trophy for college hockey.
Bradley Nadeau, their first-round pick from this past year, played at the University of Maine. He signed his entry-level deal. I don't see the same urgency for these guys. So what is going on? Do they just all have – Canes just have some money burning a hole in their pocket? They want to commit it? Like, what's going on here?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. One, the Carolina Hurricanes will have an AHL affiliate this upcoming season. So there's going to be a place on the minors for these guys to play.
If we're going to have a minor league team, we need minor league players?
Well,
is it that simple?
I think it's part of that, but also I think it's just how well these guys played at college, how well they developed. It's like, hey, you know what? In 2 years, you could be up in the big club.
Do you know why manhole covers are round?
Why?
Because manholes are round. It's like that why we signed a bunch of minor league players? Because we got a minor league team that we need to fill with minor league players. It can't be that simple.
I mean, I don't think it's that simple because they're not going to want to rush the development of these guys and burn through entry-level contracts when they're not ready, because then you got to worry about getting to free agency sooner and those kinds of things. The team isn't going to be like, hey, Bradley Nadeau or hey, Jackson Blake, we feel like in a couple years, like, you could be on the big club. You can help us. Let's go ahead and get you on sign that entry-level contract.
Is 18 years old.
Yeah.
He is listed at 5'10", 160 pounds.
Yeah, he's probably filled out more than that. But it's also as well, like, these guys actually can get into the strength program, be around the team during the playoffs, understand the culture of the team. You can start immersing them in that now.
By the way, that was on one of his prospect profiles. Maine had him at 5'10", 170.
There you go. See, put on some weight already. Put already.
But as somebody that played college sports, not the most accurate way to go by what they have you on the roster.
And this also, we didn't even talk about one of the young guys we saw during training camp last year, and Felix Ungersorum. So think about it this way. A few years ago when we saw guys like Jacob Slavin, Brett Pesce, Sebastian Aho, that young talented crop of players that were coming up, this is that next crop that's coming up. This is like next wave after them. So that's like we saw again with Aho, Natchez, these guys. This is that next group of young, talented young players. And these are the guys that the Canes were like, nope, we're not going to trade these guys away. They're too valuable to us. Held on to them. And then sure enough, hopefully, in 2026, we'll see these guys in Canes uniforms playing alongside Aho and Svetch.
And Jarvis. And we don't have to list them all.
Yeah.
And a couple others. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
I mentioned Durham Bulls Athletic Park. The Durham Bulls, actually, they're on the road right now. They won their game yesterday 28-10. That's right, baseball score. 28-10.
That's like, I feel like I should have a squares pool going where I'm like, those are my numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
8-0. I knew it.
So they won 28-10 yesterday on the road against the Iron Pigs. I can't remember where they're from now. Iron Pigs is just a great name. But I was thinking,
Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
Lehigh Valley, that's what it is. So I was thinking, score 28. Like 28-10 is a football score. Like, you got blown out. I bet that touchdown came with 3 minutes left for Lehigh. Just
28 could be like 15 baseball games.
Very well could. It could be 28.
If you're a low-scoring team that grinds out games.
So, nonetheless, I went and did some research. So, the UFL, the combination USFL, XFL, the UFL Football League, the United Football League, is playing right now. They're about to go into week 3 this weekend. So, I looked at the scores from the UFL over the first 2 weeks of their season. No team in the UFL has scored more than 28 points. Actually, none of them has scored 28 points. The highest point total is 27.
Take that, A.J. McCarron and crew.
The Durham Bulls have outscored football teams. I also went and said, look, hey, you know what? Zach Edey, National Player of the Year. Two-time. Didn't even score 28 points against NC State in the Final Four. Now, I understand that NC State lost. I get it. But Zach Edey didn't even score 28 points.
He didn't put up Durham Bulls numbers.
Exactly. Dude couldn't even put up Durham Bulls numbers. I was thinking also the 28, way more than what Virginia put up. That's actually double what Virginia put up against Colorado State in the first 4 of the NCAA tournament. But, that's also to be expected. And I also went back and I was like, oh, yeah, remember in 2019, February 2019, NC State basketball against Virginia Tech, then number 12 Virginia Tech in men's basketball, scored 24 total points in the game. They lost 47-24.
There's good screenshots of that one.
Oh, yeah, they're all over the place.
24
So
total
anyway,
points.
I hate bringing that one up because but it's still 28 points for the Durham Bulls, or runs, I should say.
Points. It should be points.
It should be
if
points.
If it's 28, it should not be runs.
It should be they almost reached Seth Jarvis's goal total this season.
In one game. In Little League, they'd be calling it after like the 4th inning.
Exactly, mercy rule here. It was position players were pitching and things like that. It was just it got weird.
There's no you don't get context when you give up 28.
No, not at all. But
there's
you know
no
what?
it wasn't even a pitcher. No, it was 28 runs.
Hey,
I don't care if the hot dog vendor was grooving them down the middle. 28 is 28.
Hey, pad the stats early in the season. Juice up those home run and RBI totals, all that good stuff. Juice it up early in the year so that if you go through a rut, you can still say my average is like 320.
I saw this about a college, a prospect in the NFL draft. His name is Dylan Laub. He's a running back from New Hampshire.
Okay.
This year, everyone's very excited about him. He had 699 receiving yards as a running back, and that's what was being championed. Like, oh my gosh, he's a dual threat. He can be a third down back. He's a small school guy, but he had 699 receiving yards this past year at New Hampshire. What they failed to mention was in one game against Central Michigan, he had 295 receiving yards.
Well, there you go.
He had half of his receiving yards in one game, essentially. It's like, well, is he that good, or was Central Michigan just that bad at losing track of the running back? Because if you're putting up 300 receiving yards in one game, why are the previous 6 games 57, 37, 0, 24, 31, 31? Are you that good of a receiver? Bulls at the end of the year, it's going to be like, we averaged 8 runs a game. You had 28 of them in one game. I don't know if that's... Never mind. It's a stats thing. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
We got better tonight.
The soccer tournament coming to Wake Med. It's like 50 days from now. I don't know why my brain works like that. Instead of saying like it's a month and 3 weeks, it's like 50 days from now is going to have some very, very interesting participants. J.J. Watt will be playing. Pat McAfee will be playing. Chad Ochocinco will be playing.
Now, these are all ex-NFL players, by the way.
Yes. J.J. Watt is also he's a... go finish what you're going to say.
I'll say J.J. Watt, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. Pat McAfee, voted, I think, the best punter of the 2010s. and multiple-time
And
Pro
Chad
Bowler.
Ochocinco needs no introduction.
Exactly.
J.J. Watt, also partial owner of the Burnley Football Club, along with his wife.
In the Premier League, yes.
Who is an elite. His wife is an elite women's soccer player. I believe she was a national team member for at least a little bit.
Played at Carolina.
Yeah.
Was played in the NWSL for a long time as well.
For anything, I have a very specific pointer. So if you have any generic point, go for it.
Go for it.
Okay. This is why, because he's playing for Burnley, right?
Yes.
This is why you buy a team. This is it. Can you imagine if David Tepper took the Panthers to Germany to play in some AAU tournament, and it was like Bryce Young, Derek Brown, Tepper and his three buddies? That's what this is. This is why you buy. This is living the dream stuff. This is, I bought the team and I'm going to coach the team. This is, I bought the team and I'm bringing them back to my home country and I'm going to play with them because I'm going to be a part of the starters. I'm going to have a position. I'm going to train. Why? Because I'm the owner and you can't tell me not to. This is a great move by J.J. Watt. What is it? Pat Mahomes owns part of the Royals.
Yeah.
If they get mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, you should throw a couple of relief innings.
Hey, we're going to go barnstorming over in Japan. I'm going to pitch an inning.
Of course.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? So Aaron Rodgers owns part of the Milwaukee Bucks.
He does. That's right.
I'll be darned if I'm not getting shots up in an exhibition game. Suit me up, coach.
So the one thing that we've seen, what we saw last year with the soccer tournaments, by the way, they're actually going to do a separate men's and women's. Mm-hmm. Last year it was just a mix. You could have co-ed teams or all men or all women's teams. So we're actually going to see a split. But one of the things that we saw with the soccer tournament was that we actually saw ex men's and women's national team stars or former players for some of these premier soccer clubs. Celebrities in this case, whatever it might be, some of these crossover things. We saw that last year, and that's kind of the appeal of it, is because it's not a full 11-on-11 soccer. It's condensed 7-on-7. The rules are so much different. It's a lot more fun, faster-paced games. And you know what? If it draws more attention and eyeballs to the tournament, better for the tournament.
Make no mistake about it.
And better for us here because it's in our backyard. I think it's great that something like this is taking place right here in literally, like I said, in our backyard.
Make no mistake about it. J.J. Watt is going to enjoy this, but he's also about promoting soccer in America because it's good for business.
Oh, yes.
If Burnley comes here and makes a whole bunch of fans, that's good for business. If they become the club that Americans like to support, that's good for business.
I think the Courage are going to have a team in there.
I wouldn't be surprised if everybody tries to get in because it was successful last year, and as soon as something's successful, everybody wants to be a part of it.
I think there were 200-plus entrants last year, and again, they had to whittle it down to 32.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Got him!
Speaking of teams going to another country and playing their sport, Packers will play the Eagles week 1 of the upcoming NFL season in Brazil.
Bruh.
Okay, why that sound effect?
Hydrate.
Oh, because it's hot.
It's going to be so hot. It's going to be so hot.
See, I don't know the climate. I understand Brazil's tropical-ish. I don't really know.
You're going to be down by the equator. That's all I'm going to say.
Week 1, still pretty much summer, right?
Yeah.
It's still got to be cool, though, right?
I mean, are you going to have Vin Diesel from Fast 5 just go, "This is Brazil"?
Now we're talking.
If we're going to do that at the beginning of the game, if you're going to do that, cool, I'm in. I'll watch.
Yeah, now I think we do need to get some kind of what stadium will they be playing in? Can we get a car track around the outside? Let's these things the when you go play in other countries, it's an event, right? Get Ronaldinho. Right, he was Brazilian, right? Or the old Ronaldo that was playing when I was growing up before the new Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, took over the name. Get the legends out there. Make it into an event. Celebrate football and football at the same time. The beautiful game. That's the problem. You know what? The Packers versus Eagles. That's gonna be a lot of running. It's gonna be a lot of ground, the tush push. That's what we're gonna send to Brazil. Brazilians appreciate the beautiful game. It needs to be like Chiefs against the Dolphins. You need to have motions. You need to have creative play calling, maybe a hook and ladder, right? You need to have a coach that's willing to have them play ring around the rosy right up until the start of the play. They picked the wrong teams to send to Brazil. If you're going to send the Eagles, I think you have to send them to, I don't know, a place where they like rugby, right? Because the scrum. Send them to New Zealand, right? Maybe they can learn some of the tush-push from the All Blacks rugby squad. I think that's the only thing I don't like about this.
By the way,
yep,
I had to go. I went check the map. Sao Paulo, since it's south of the equator, we're looking at different seasons. So
See,
actually,
I don't know
in
the climate.
September, advertised around 78, low 61. That sounds wonderful.
That's football weather. That's Seahawk football weather. That's what my high school coach would say. He'd step out of the locker room every single day, take a deep breath, and say it's Seahawk football weather. Didn't matter if it was 100 degrees, 10 degrees, raining, windy. It was always Seahawk football weather. And if that's not the most high school football coach thing of all time, I don't know what is. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9, The Fan. That is Hit It and Quit It. And now I want to tell you about Coach Pete and everyone over there at Capital Financial Advisory Group. This is some Capital Financial Advisory Group weather we're having right now. The life insurance that you thought you knew, your parents' version of life insurance, it's a thing of the past. Embracing game-changing amendments to the world of life insurance can help you along the path to retirement. If you're ready to learn about the practical ways you can utilize life insurance in your financial plan, well, no one likes to talk about life insurance, but the new improved life insurance can get you pumped up on some alternative strategies from Coach Pete and everyone at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Get this even. Coach tells me you could even use the death benefit to pay for any long-term care expenses tax-free. Tax-free, that is. That is one of the many benefits of the new generation of life insurance, but Coach Pete and the fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial can walk you through all of the details, the best way to put your policy to work for you and your financial future. I almost mixed those two words. What are you waiting for? Call Coach Pete and his team today. Call right now and Coach Pete will walk you through this and hook you up with a copy of one of his best-selling books. Be sure to let him know I sent you. So Tim from 99.9 The Fan, give him a call. 800-691-3215. That's 800-691-3215. Or you can just text my name, TIM, to 600-700. Again, that's my name, Tim, to 600-700. We'll take a break. When we come back, the final AP, Associated Press polls for the men's college basketball season came out yesterday, and certain fans in the Triangle were pretty upset about it. We'll tell you why next.
What are you doing?
I'm training for the new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs. I could get a chance to dash through a warehouse full of prizes.
That explains the shopping cart.
Plus, I could win up to $2 million in cash.
And that explains the tuxedo.
I'm chafing.
Feel the rush with new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.78. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. It is playoff time. NHL, NBA, and baseball is in full swing. FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you bet your first $5. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P, and sign up. Then you can bet on everything from slap shots to slam dunks to home runs, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. So get started today. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul, and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at fanduel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Having pain like that and not knowing how you caused it and for how long it's lasting, it's debilitating.
QC Kinetics patient Diane Richardson hated not being able to live her life to the fullest due to joint pain. But then she called QC Kinetics, where regenerative treatments helped her pain go away.
The result was phenomenal.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using natural biologics to restore and repair damaged joint tissue.
This was a great alternative for me as opposed to going in and possibly having surgery or something else. There was no downtime, and that's what I loved. My life is too busy for me to be sidelined.
If you're tired of constant pain from arthritis or injury, don't think the old treatments are the only treatments. Discover regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
Just to feel good and know that I'm out of pain is the best thing ever. I'm able to do everything that I want to do.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
Adam Gold here for the one and only Dr. Lori Travers at Travers LASIK, and I had LASIK surgery more than a dozen years ago, and people have asked me, Adam, wasn't that expensive? I'm not sure I can afford that. And I say all the time, well, how much does it cost you every year to get new contacts, to get new glasses, to get prescription sunglasses, to buy all the solutions, do everything you need, because you're going to lose the glasses, by the way. You're going to lose your prescription sunglasses like you lose every other pair of sunglasses. How much does that cost? Well, what if I told you that 24 months, zero financing was available? It's more affordable than you think, and we're going to kick in $1,000 promotion for the spring. That's right, you'll save $1,000 at Travers LASIK. Now, it seems a lot more affordable. It's also painless, 5 minutes per eye. You could be back to work the very next day. All you have to do is pick up the phone now, 919-510-6830. And $1,000 off for the spring, 919-510-6830, Travers LASIK.
Get a great deal this spring on a new Train heating and cooling system. Train systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a train.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The final AP poll, Associated Press poll, men's college basketball came out yesterday. A lot to celebrate and a lot to argue about. That's why rankings exist, right? That's why polls exist, to drum up conversation. Should we start with the angry? Should we start with the argumentative? Or should we start with the good and the great?
Yes.
We'll start with the good and the great.
Yeah.
This is the first time in AP poll history, going back to the 1940s when it began, that NC State, Duke, and UNC all finished in the top 10 of the poll.
Let's go.
We are, and we've said this, there's been a bunch of different indicators of this. We've said it for a while now. We are living, and if you're listening to this on the FM dial on your radio, you are living at the center of the college basketball world.
The capital of it, I like to say.
The capital. I like that also. The capital of the college basketball world. It is right here. Are there other teams that are good? Yes. I'm not saying you're the only, but we are the center, and that is awesome. As somebody that has lived in other places, I can tell you it's not like this everywhere. It's not like this anywhere, except for right here in the triangle. 30% of the top 10 this year was within 30 miles of where you're standing right now. That's awesome. Now, should we get to the argumentative? These are the details that people are going to disagree with.
Let's do it.
NC State was the lowest ranked of the three.
Ooh.
North Carolina men's basketball team is number 7 in the season's final AP poll. According to their website, this is the 39th time the AP has ranked the Tar Heels in the top 10 of the final poll. Duke is ranked 9th in the final AP poll of the 2023-2024 season, this according to their website, marking the 40th. Duke fans will point out that it's one more than UNC. The 40th final top 10 ranking for the program all time. So UNC would say they're 2 spots above in the ranking. Duke would say this is one more top 10 than yours. Again, there's things to argue about. Meanwhile, State would just be down there like, you're telling us we're 10th? We were in the Final Four. We won the ACC championship. The NC State men's basketball team was voted 10th in the Associated Press poll. It is the highest ranking for the Pac in the Kevin Keatts era, and the highest ranking for the program since of any week, let alone a season-ending week, since November 12th, 2012, when the Pac was ranked 6th. So it's been over a decade since they've been this high in the AP poll. This is where I want to emphasize something, because we did our podium earlier this week, okay? And we did our season-long podium, which is we ranked the seasons. It was a season-long ranking of the 4 teams from the state of North Carolina and the ACC. And I put NC State number 1. And social media, and I know you can't respond to every person that says something on social media, but there was enough chatter, and I had to go back and forth with a couple of them, that was calling me a homer for putting NC State number 1. So then the AP poll comes out, and State is 3, and those people that were saying, like, oh, you only love NC State, they're probably taking a bit of a victory lap, saying, see? UNC and Duke are over them in the AP poll. See? My response is this, and it's very simple. Duke and North Carolina would trade seasons with NC State if they could. I'm talking full season changes, not like, oh, I'll trade you my ACC tournament run for your ACC tournament. No, I'm talking about from game 1 to the final game, UNC and Duke would trade seasons. Right? You're not going like, we won more games in November through January, and I'm not giving that up even if you want to give me your ACC championship and your Final Four run. Like, everyone is aware of which season was the best. Nobody is saying I wouldn't trade my wins in, early January for your 5-week run that captivated America. Nobody is saying that. So that's why I believe NC State was above it in our podium. However, the AP poll is an opinion, okay? And they have to ask themselves, the voters have to ask themselves who they think is the best team. If the AP poll just went to who finished the best in the NCAA tournament, they wouldn't need to vote. They would just look at the tournament and go, all right, these 4 are the best 4, these 2 are the best 2, these 8 are the best 8, and they would just have that answer. They wouldn't need to vote. If the voters think UNC and Duke are better teams, and I can't fault them, they'd probably be favored if they played tomorrow. Right? If Duke or UNC played NC State tomorrow, the sports books would probably have State as the underdog. Now, I disagree with it because I do believe that run matters and it should take into account and you should be ranked higher, but I can't fault them for it. So here's my very, very, I don't want to say boring, but very, very, kind of measured take on this. The AP poll has the right to put them in the order that they did. State fans should be absolutely furious, and UNC fans should be saying, see, we're the best in the triangle, and everybody is doing exactly what they should be doing. This is why the rankings exist. There's no trophy given out for being the top AP poll team. There used to be. Like football used to do it that way, right? Used to just be like, hey, we're national champions because the AP voted us and the coaches voted us. There used to be that. Now you settle it on the court. Like State gets the banner for being in the Final Four. UNC doesn't get a banner for being the 7th-ranked team in the AP poll. The only reason these polls exist is to drum up controversy and argument and give message boards something to be mad at and give us something to talk about. They're doing their job. If you want to look at who has the best season, you don't need polls to tell you that. What you need to look at are trophies. What you need to look at are who played the furthest into March. What you need to look at is who won head-to-heads. That is how you decide who had the best season. AP poll can maybe help you decide who's the best team, but how many times in sports do you have to learn the best team doesn't always win? And the winning team can't be debated. You can debate who's the best team. You can't debate who was the winning team. The scoreboard tells you that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Underdog Sportsbook. Sports betting is alive and thriving here in the state of North Carolina. And guess what? You want to get in on the action? You go to Underdog Sportsbook. And here's the thing about Underdog Sportsbook. This is what they've given you, all right? They've given you, using their own technology, they've used their own design to make sure that they give you a fresh experience with straightforward language that you as the fan can understand. And really, honestly, it's a simple design that's as clean as it is appealing. So when you open up the Underdog Sportsbook app, it's nice and easy for you to navigate exactly what you want to go find. Like you're trying to find some NBA, trying to find some Major League Baseball, trying to find NHL. It's so easy for you to navigate. It's simple for you to find exactly what you're looking for your prop bets, for your parlays, for your money lines, you name it. It's simple and easy to use. I've heard people complain about other sportsbook apps saying, like, I don't know where to go. They got all these boxes and things all over the place. I'm not sure exactly where to go. You don't have to worry about that with Underdog Sportsbook. That's the reason why I use it. And you can too when you download the Underdog Sportsbook app on iOS or Android and sign up with the promo code Dennis. Use your first bet mulligan with that promo code, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus funds if your first bet loses. Again, that's Underdog Sportsbook, promo code Dennis, and use your first bet mulligan, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus funds if your first bet loses. Must be 21 plus to gamble and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov or call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply and can be found in the Underdog Sportsbook app.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan needs to get to our starting five. The Masters starts tomorrow. Football players playing soccer and more. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Robert in Raleigh, listening on 99.9 The Fan. What's up, Robert?
I gotta go leftovers, macaroni and cheese. Michelle, I know you don't eat leftovers. My wife grew up eating leftovers. She'll bake a peach pie from scratch, have one piece, and then it's old. And I've heard you talking about where the best pizza's from. If you've not had Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern Pizza, they're all right there in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store, and springtime can bring a new season of change and growth. There are so many things to look forward to, whether it's walking your dog, taking a stroll through the park with a loved one, or tackling a new do-it-yourself project. It can be just energizing to get outside. We are once again looking forward to summer camps, family reunions, and planning vacations. Getting back into activities such as these can be difficult, though, if you suffer from pain in your feet, knees, hips, or lower back. Good Feet Arch Supports can be the solution you need to get the most out of your springtime activities. As we head into this season of possibilities, don't let foot pain hold you back. Make this spring the start of a new season in your life at the Good Feet Store. Come in today for your free fitting and test walk. The Good Feet Store is in Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Fayetteville, and other locations across North Carolina. Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today or just stop by. I'm Jonathan Cotton, and we look forward to seeing you at the Good Feet Store.
Making dinner, trimming your hair, mowing the lawn. Sure, you can do it all yourself, but why? At Autobell Car Wash, our team cleans your whole car from the inside out in 15 minutes or less. We do the work so you don't have to.
People can tell when you Autobell.
To tell you that Keno picks 20 winning numbers, we wrote a winning number of our own. Hit it, boys. You pick up the 10. Keno picks 20. It's easy to play for a whole lot of money. Winning numbers are everywhere with Keno from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win a prize range from 1 in 3.86 to 16.63. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's Truck Month at your local Ram dealer. And now's the time to get great deals on our award-winning lineup of trucks. At Ram, all we do is trucks. Maybe that's why Ram is the most awarded light-duty and heavy-duty truck brand over the last 5 years. Ram trucks feature innovative technology and uncompromised power and dependability that give you the power to strengthen your truck game. Go to Ram.com for great deals and hurry in for the best selection of trucks during Ram Truck Month. Based on total full-size pickup awards 2019 to 2023 CYTD, based on standard and available features offered.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I live and work on both coasts, travel the country. Here's the deal. There's nothing like Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials like half-priced appetizers Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Oh, man, now I want wings.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey homeowners, this is Keith Gregory with Home Exteriors by Baker Roofing. We have a lot of new neighbors moving to our area, and as a company that was founded in Raleigh in 1915, we would like to formally welcome you home. Our history of excellence is best summed up in our commitment. We shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. To learn more about our roofing, siding, window, door, and gutter services, visit bakerroofing.com.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Shoot, he scores!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. Warmed up nicely today. Overnight, the clouds will increase. Showers toward daybreak, the low 63. Have the rain gear ready. Rain in the morning, showers and storms in the afternoon. Some could be severe, the high 73.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 422 points to 38,461. Market update brought to you by Habitat for Humanity. Check out the Habitat for Humanity Restore, now selling brand new solid wood custom cabinets. Learn more at trianglerestores.org. Again, trianglerestores.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting 5. Starting with number 5. The Masters starts tomorrow. And there's
You're giddy. You got your Masters hat on and everything.
Of course. You're not, and it's strange. I'm not the weird one in this situation.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not giddy enough. Well, actually, this is a good example here, because yesterday we were talking about the Masters. And Dennis asked me a question that I think, and this is a life lesson. Expand your circle, right? Don't just talk with people that have your same interests. Dennis is not the golf fan that I am, and he asked, he was like, this whole LIV versus PGA thing, why?
Like why are people making such a big deal out of it? I'm like, I don't get it.
And it messed with my head for a second because I pretty much only talk golf with people that are nearly as obsessed with golf as I am. So it's like that hasn't been asked since the moment LIV existed. So I had to take a step back, right? This is why. Because golf is like, hear me out here. Golf is like baseball. Records matter. History matters, right? Like the all-time home run record mattered. How home runs in a season matter. Strikeouts, steals, like all of the RB, like the records matter, and the history of the game matters. And when Liv broke off from PGA and took a bunch of the good golfers with them, those golfers are now operating on a different timeline, and they aren't participating in the records, right? They aren't participating in the history of the game. They're no longer chasing Tiger Woods and Sam Snead in all-time wins. They're no longer chasing Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer and Gary Player. They're on their own separate timeline outside of the majors. And that alone has made our enjoying experience less when watching golf on a week-to-week. Because somebody like Jon Rahm, somebody like Dustin Johnson, they were chasing big. Brooks Koepka, they were chasing big and lofty goals. They were going to go down as some of the best PGA Tour golfers of all time, and maybe they still will. But it would be as if somebody like Mike Trout, right? Mike Trout is on pace to do this, or he's going to challenge this, and then all of a sudden in the middle of his career, he's just like, I'm not going to try to chase those.
Okay, but that's their choice. So, like, again, like, so,
very much
like,
their choice.
what's this whole thing like Live versus PGA? Like, trust me, I probably know more than most fans in just being in the industry that we're in. But like, people keep bringing up Live versus PGA at the Masters. I'm like, why? I don't get it.
Well,
like, are they two teams competing against each other? No. So what's like?
Kind of.
Are they though?
Sergio Garcia, who plays for Liv, posted a picture of all the Liv golfers that will be participating in the Masters.
Okay.
And he said, we are coming for the green jacket.
Okay.
Golf is not a we sport until there's Liv golfers making it so. It'd be I'm coming for the green jacket, of which Sergio already has one.
He does.
So he could go out on his own and talk some trash. Instead, he's talking trash for Liv. There's a political element to it.
That I totally get. That's a separate thing. That is a separate thing in my mind.
Except it's hard to make it a separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't exactly just put that in its own box because there's money elements to it, and there's a good chance that at least somebody on the PGA Tour has turned down massive amounts of money from Liv for moral reasons and ethical reasons. So that is a thing. There's been trash talk.
Okay.
If you're going to talk trash against me and my friends, I'm not going to be cool with you and your friends. Like that, an enemy of my enemy an enemy of my friend is my enemy. There's that built in. It's golf is worse because of it. And if golf is worse because of the actions of someone, and you are a fan of golf, you are a player of golf, you are an aficionado of golf, you're going to dislike the people that made golf worse. And if they're saying you're unfairly attributing making golf worse to me, they're not going to like your energy. Thus, you have this Sharks and the Jets at every single major where they're going up against each other, dancing in an alley with Sharks and Jets. There you go, snapping. So it does make it so when there is a Live golfer and a PGA golfer paired together in contention on a Sunday, it's ramped up. It just is. And I would argue it might make that one situation a bit more interesting for the majors because there's a villain. And whichever villain is, I'm not saying which one is a villain. You can make that decision for yourself. But it's good versus evil. There is a I'm rooting for this and I'm rooting against that rather than just rooting for your guys. Let's hear from Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka, one of the Live guys playing in the majors. He's playing in the Masters. Here's Brooks.
During the moment, it's about going to play golf and go do what I do. But hell, there's 19 other people in front of me. I do know that.
Is that about majors? I would assume 19 people with more majors, maybe.
Sure.
He only really counts majors, so he's a monster. By the way, let's just call a spade.
He's
a spade.
good.
He didn't play well in his Live event last week. You know what's fun about Brooks Koepka? It does not matter how he's playing going into a major. Most guys, it's like if you're playing well the month leading into a major, you're more likely to play well. Brooks, it's like, how'd I play last week? Did I play last week? I'm here to mow down the competition. And more often than not, he does. That's number 5. By the way, I'll give my Masters picks. I do a stupid amount of research. I'm a big golf nerd. I have picks, bets, All that coming up to end the show, so stick around for that. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the Four Horsemen. Woo!
The soccer tournament, Wake Med, 50-ish days from now.
Yeah, it's like 7 weeks away.
Will feature not only some very, very exciting soccer players from stateside, all different levels. There's a massive cash prize from overseas, very talented players. It will also feature J.J. Watt, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL, and Pat McAfee, who is a ESPN personality, as well as a former Pro Bowl punter in the NFL, and Chad Ochocinco, formerly known as Chad Johnson, Pro Bowl wide receiver in the NFL for many years. They're going to play in the soccer tournament. I'm here for it. I'm here for making, it's actually very similar. Because I'm a big, let's just bring it right back. I'm a big golf fan.
Mm-hmm.
I try to find ways. I try to find the best tournaments to on-ramp fans that aren't soccer or aren't golf fans. I say, watch the Ryder Cup. Make your first introduction to these guys the Ryder Cup, because it's exciting. There's cheering. There's chanting. There's trash talk. It's a team event. It feels more like another sport. I'm in favor of whatever gets eyeballs to a new sport. So if J.J. Watt, Pat McAfee, and Chad Ochocinco take fans of one sport, bring them over to soccer, and a few of them go, hey, you know what? That's cool. I like this. They become a fan of another sport. I'm here for it. They become fan of the Courage. They become fans of Charlotte FC. They become fans of whatever because, they love the NFL and want to see J.J. Watt. That's all good. I respect them for doing it. I think J.J. Watt, if it works and it makes a whole bunch of new soccer fans, he should play in a PGA tournament next year. Bring those fans right on over that way too. The other thing is I saw some footage of him training with it looked like maybe Gatorade U14 women's team, girls team.
Okay.
He's a big boy.
Oh, J.J. Watt?
He looks a little unusual running around on a soccer field. He doesn't have bad touch. He doesn't have bad feet. He can do some things, but it looks like, I don't know if I'm sure everyone that grew up of a certain age did this. You know when you have a video game and you make your created player?
Yes.
And it's I could make him 6'1", 205 pounds, or I could make him 7'4", 360 pounds, and still make him agile and everything. That's what it looked like. It looked like that someone took a soccer player and just said, well, how tall can I make him? Boop, 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 6'5". How big can I make him? Boop, 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 full strength. And then you send him out there to play soccer. That's what J.J. Watt looked like. I think it's going to be a cool sight over at Wake Med in about 7 weeks. Anything to add, Dennis?
It's going to be a fun time. Worth checking out.
That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Andy Dalton, backup quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, was on the Jim Rome show, and he talked about last year's Panthers versus this year's Panthers, Bryce Young's setup last year versus Bryce Young's setup this year. This is what he had to say about Bryce.
I thought he handled it well. He's never in his life had a season like that and had to handle the adversity that he had to deal with. It was a tough year, and then you throw in, losing your head coach after 11 games and changes on offense and all the things that went into it. It was tough, and so I think for him, I thought he handled it well. And I kept telling him just stay the course. This thing is going to get better. It's going to improve, and I think what we have done this off season, bringing in some guys, bringing in a couple guards on the offensive line, different things, trading for Deontay Johnson. I think it's getting built the right way where, it's going to set him up to have a better year.
Andy Dalton and Bryce Young are in a unique situation. They are two players that can relate to each other in a way nobody else in that building can. Is it too mean to call last season a dumpster fire?
No, I'd say that's accurate.
Okay, they were the only two that were in the dumpster fire that are still around now, right?
In terms of quarterbacks, yes.
But I would say
like Adam Thielen was part of it.
But of like the inner, I consider quarterbacks like half coaches, like the inner circle of the offense creators, right? It was Josh McCown, it was Deuce Staley, it was Thomas Brown, it was Frank Reich, it was Dave Caldwell, like that whole. It was Andy Dalton, it was Bryce Young, like that whole crew created what ended up on the field last year and was not good enough. Everyone I mentioned other than Bryce Young and Andy Dalton are gone. So when Andy Dalton talks about the ways things are different, he is seeing it through a similar lens to Bryce Young. So when Bryce has to lean on Andy a bit, he has to be able to go to him and say, why are we doing this differently? And Andy has to be able to go like, oh, because last year we were doing it all kinds of wrong. Or last year they were intending to do it the right way, but the reason why this is better, or the reason why we're going here. Andy has seen a lot. He's been around the block a few times. He's been a starter on a playoff perennial contender in the NFL. He's been the backup on the worst team in the NFL. Think about how the Andy Dalton NFL life could be told. He and A.J. Green starring on the Bengals. If I'm not mistaken, under Marvin Lewis, they made the playoffs 5 consecutive years.
I believe so.
Last year, he was a backup on the worst team in the league by far. He was playing for $25 million a year at one point. He has seen it all. Bryce Young has to lean on that guy. They're the only two that have been through the last year together. They need friends to be friends. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
It's the starting 5 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Mark Mitchell, 2-year starter, Duke basketball, transfer portal. Seth Trimble, 6th man for UNC last year, 3rd in voting for ACC 6th man of the year, transfer portal. Cam Woods, one of the bigger names out of the transfer portal, to NC State last offseason. Transfer portal this offseason. So he's in and he's out. Didn't make much of an impact on the floor for NC State. Here's the lesson learned. If you're a coach, if you're a program, have a plan for if any and everybody goes in the portal, right? Because there's got to be part of you, especially as the transfer portal was developing, that would think, all right, this guy didn't play much. What do we do if he hits the portal? How do we use his scholarship? All right, this guy was hurt all year. What do we do if he uses the transfer portal? All right, this guy, didn't play well in a big game and really took a lot of heat from our fan base. What do we do if he hits the transfer portal? You're probably not thinking the 3rd leading vote getter and 6th man of the year in the ACC, who is set to see his role increase. What do we do if he hits the transfer portal? You're probably not getting your assistants together and go, priority number 1, what if 2-year starters that average double figures in scoring want to hit the transfer portal? Do you know, actually, you would do that if you were at a mid-major program, right? If you have a mid-major program and you start a guy as a freshman and a sophomore and he's averaging double figures, you probably are planning on him hitting the transfer portal because he's going to go try to jump up to a Power 5 school. If you're Duke, you're probably not. But guess what? You need to. Coaches are notorious control freaks, right? They're notorious for wanting to know what they're going to do in every situation, planning a contingency, and then planning a contingency for the contingency. This is what an offseason is going to sound like with a head coach. Probably it's not a GM. They have like a director of player. They've got a bunch of other staff positions now in addition to the head coach or the head coach and assistant coaches. They're going to get in a room. They're going to have their 12 players on scholarship, right? Or 10 players, however many they have. And they're going to go, all right, starting point guard. What do we do if he hits the portal? Well, Coach, I don't think he's going to. He loves it here. I don't think you understand. We need a plan if he hits the transfer portal. Starting shooting guard, what do we do if he hits the portal? Starting small forward, power forward, center, backup point guard, backup 2, backup 3, we need a plan for if all of them hit the portal. Do you know why? Because that's the way of the world. We don't want to be caught off guard by any of it. I hope we don't have to use any of these plans. But we better have the plans just in case.
Especially now since the courts as in like the actual like justice system.
Like Coach K court, Roy Williams court?
Yeah, no, not that kind of court. But the actual like justice system said the NCAA cannot enforce their own rules regarding if you transfer multiple times, you have to sit out a season unless you apply for a waiver. So now it's like Cam Woods, like you mentioned, I think he's going to be going to his 4th school, I think.
Cam Woods was not eligible at the beginning of the year because he was a multiple-time transfer.
Exactly.
Now he's going back in the transfer portal, expecting to be immediately eligible wherever he goes.
And it was weird because during the season, it's like, oh, he actually is eligible to play. So he did play in some games. So it's just
the irony is when he transferred, he wasn't confident 100% that he was going to be able to play this year at all.
Yeah.
He ended up being allowed to play but didn't play as much, so now he's going in the portal. It's new, and we talked about this earlier. I think an underrated, wildly important trait in a head coach in college basketball and college football and college whatever is your ability to scramble. How do you operate when your best laid, well-researched plan is lit in fire and up in smoke? I'd almost want to like, as part of the interview process, be like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to meet you at this restaurant. And then intentionally have that be a closed restaurant and be like, quick, plan where we go next. I want you to have everything you intended upended. This is actually ready for a behind-the-scenes radio thing. When I was coming up in the business, I still am this way, but I'm very big into prepping for a show. I make sure I'm well researched on everything we talk about. And at one point in time, a consultant that I had that was working with me on getting better in the business was concerned that I was over prepping, concerned that I was sounding scripted. So he literally would say, "All right, boom, this segment, take all the notes you have, throw them out. You're not allowed to have them in the studio with you." And I'd be like, "No, my notes." And it was literally just, let's see how you react. Let's see what you have in your short-term memory. Like, be entertaining. I would want to do that to coaches. I'd be like, what do you see for our roster? This would be my interview question, right? Kentucky's hiring a coach. What do you see for our roster right now? How can this roster win? I'd be like, well, we're going to build around this guy who's averaged 13 points. And then halfway through, I would go, hey, that guy that averaged 13 points, he's gone. What do you see for our roster now? And you better be able to come up with an answer on the spot, because
figure it out.
That's what college coaching is right now. And the moment you go, okay, that's fine, we'll build around this guy. Boom, he just hit the portal. But you got a 6'7" wing from Arkansas. What are you going to do now? It's that quick. The drive of Tim Donnelly starting 5. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The 1!
The Canes rolled over Boston last night, but rolled over Boston in a very Canes way as I drop my pen. They were forceful. They were great on defense. The goaltending was good. Svech made an unbelievable play. He pulled off a Svechnikov, a little lacrosse goal. Jarvis out-hustled everybody to a goal. Gensel was Gensel in front of the net. That was maybe not the best we've seen the Canes this year. It was as good as we've seen the Canes this year, which is a good thing to be saying about your team with, 3 games left until the postseason, and a very important postseason for a bunch of reasons. And, we were talking about this, if maybe you not throttle down, but you give guys some days off, or you, get a little less ice time for your studs over these next couple of games. After watching last night, full throttle, man. Just build off of it, roll through it. Don't let your foot off the gas. Go. You play I know there's a Columbus game in there. Is there a San Jose game in there?
St. Louis is
Louis,
Friday.
that's what it is.
Chicago Sunday. Columbus on Tuesday next week.
Go.
And that's it.
That's my don't overthink it. You're playing great hockey right now. Last night was really, really good. You're playing, just go. Try to build off of it. Try not to let any of that momentum slip. Here's Andrei Svechnikov on how big that win was over Boston.
Yeah, huge win, especially playing against Boston. They're a really good team, and we lost the last game against them, and we can see them in the playoffs. So it's huge for us and give us a big conference.
We said it earlier. I'll echo it once again. If they play like that, they beat any and everyone. You get 16 games as good as last night from the Canes in the postseason, we're having a parade.
So I told it to you earlier. That's the recipe. That is the recipe.
And by the way, last night they had Kochetkov in net.
It was solid.
Very
really good.
Very good. Like it's there's different ways to do it. There's multiple ways to skin a cat, but if it's a quality thing. If you play that well, it doesn't have to be Svech with the highlight goal. It could be any of a number of guys with the highlight goal. But if you play that well, that quality for 16 games, don't have to be consecutive, but it's got to be more often than not, right? You got to win a majority of them. You play that well 16 times in the postseason, you're hoisting the cup, getting your names etched onto it, and that's a pretty cool thing to be able to say out loud.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. I know a lot of people out there they're getting the invites, getting all the invitations for the weddings coming up, at some point, maybe this summer, maybe even this coming fall. Well, if you're part of that bridal party, maybe you're a bridesmaid, maybe you're a best man, look to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School to have your bachelor or bachelorette party, because not only are you going to go out there and have a great time, have a blast before the knot is tied, you go out there, you shoot your clays, but also you can book their wonderful outdoor pavilions that they have. They have a fire pit out there as well. You can book, even have food and drink for you guys afterwards. And that's what Deep River Sporting Clays and Sporting School gives you. It's an experience that you're going to want to have again and again and again, even after the bachelor party is done. You could do that, hey, after, a few years after the wedding's done. Hey, let's all get back together, guys. Let's go back out to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check out all they have to offer. DeepRiverSportingClays.com. Again, DeepRiverSportingClays.com. Book that experience today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need numbers game contestants. We have tickets, a pair of tickets, to America's favorite car show, which is returning to the Tar Heel State with a hot rodding event you don't want to miss. Good Guys, 9th Grioge's Garage, North Carolina Nationals at NC State Fairgrounds, April 19th through 21st. A pair of tickets will go to the winner of the numbers game. If you want to play the numbers game, you have to call in right now. We need 2 contestants, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Call in now to play the numbers game. It's coming up next.
Golf's first major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover golf's lasting tradition, the Masters. Find out if John Rahm can go back-to-back at Augusta.
Rahm wins the Masters Marathon.
Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Champion's Jacket. Coverage of the Masters on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Trayburn Country Club, the Triangles Golf Escape.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So, when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
What are you doing? I'm training for the new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs. I could get a chance to dash through a warehouse full of prizes.
That explains the shopping cart.
Plus, I could win up to $2 million in cash.
And that explains the tuxedo.
I'm chafing.
Feel the rush with new Ultimate Dash Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.78. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
April is here. And if your windows won't open for fresh air or seal tight to keep out pollen and bugs, then talk to Window Nation right now. For every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 free. There's no limit to how much you could save. Plus, you could save even more with no interest or payments for 24 months. With proven quality, you'll get affordable windows that meet or beat the national brands. Don't miss out. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. It is time to play the numbers game here on 99.9 The Fan. We have Dylan in Raleigh, and is that Antoine in Raleigh? Antoine in Raleigh as well. Welcome to the show, both of you. Here's the question. I'm a big golf fan. The Masters starts tomorrow. I don't know if either of you are golf fans, but I just want to hear how you describe it. If you were given a free round at Augusta National today to play it just as it's going to play in the Masters, how would you do? Dylan and Raleigh, we'll start with you.
Oh, man. Not well. I would not fare very well.
Fair and honest. Antoine, same question to you. What's it looking like?
I'd have to say the same thing. I'm not doing too well. I'd probably be missing a lot on my swing.
I'm going to go Dylan because it was first. Thought maybe we could have played that up a little bit more for comedic effect.
I know what my answer would be.
What is that?
I wouldn't be able to finish the round because I'd lose every golf ball I'd have.
They're donations to Rays Creek and the rest of
we'll go with that.
Very famous water hazards. Dylan, you get to go first. Go ahead and pick your category. The categories are NFL, sounds like work. Those are all players with a part of their name that is a different profession. NFL, Ohio State alum. Those are all NFL players who play their college football at Ohio State. NBA, current players only, and NHL, Canes and Whalers only.
Let's go NFL.
NFL, do you want NFL sounds like work or NFL Ohio State alum?
Oh, sounds like work.
All right. All of these players have names that includes some other profession. I will give you the team and the player. Give me their jersey numbers as quickly as you can because there's 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Let's do it.
All right, your time starts when you hear the horn. Dalvin Cook, Minnesota Vikings.
23.
Incorrect. Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
5.
Incorrect. Dalvin Cook, Minnesota Vikings.
We pass.
Jake Plummer, Arizona Cardinals.
I knew he was coming. 17.
Incorrect. Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
11.
Incorrect. Dalvin Cook, Minnesota Vikings.
Pass.
Jake Plummer, Arizona Cardinals.
10. Oh, goodness.
Did you really? You just heard that there were athletes with names that were occupations and you went Jake Plummer? You were just thinking about it?
Yeah, I knew that one was coming and couldn't even think of him.
Well, it was number 16 for Jake Plummer. Baker with the Bucs wears number 6. We would have taken one of two answers for the Vikings because Dalvin Cook wore 33 early in his career before changing to number 4. Would have taken either of them. Unfortunately, you got 0.
Yep.
Maybe that's about how good it would have went at Augusta National. Let's go ahead and jump to the next. Antoine and Raleigh. Antoine, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, you get to pick out of the remaining categories. It's NFL, Ohio State alum, NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only.
NBA current players.
All right. You know the way this works. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass. Any last-second questions?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Trae Young, Atlanta Hawks.
11.
Correct. Domantas Sabonis, Sacramento Kings.
12.
Incorrect. Brandon Miller, Charlotte Hornets.
0.
Incorrect. Domantas Sabonis, Sacramento Kings.
And pass.
Luka Doncic, Dallas Mavericks.
77.
Correct. Nikola Jokic, Denver Nuggets.
15.
Brandon Miller, Charlotte Hornets.
6.
Incorrect. Domantas Sabonis, Sacramento Kings. You got 3. It started. There was a rough patch in the middle there, but Trae Young, you got smooth with number 11. Sabonis wore number 10 with the Kings. Brandon Miller is wearing number 24 with the Hornets, and then you got Luka with 77 and Nikola Jokic with 15. I'll ask you this question: when they retire number 15 for the Nuggets, who's it for? Carmelo or Jokic?
I'd say Jokic is the better player, but maybe they could retire both.
All right. That's a very political answer. You win the tickets to America's favorite car show, Good Guys 9th Grioge's Garage, North Carolina Nationals at the NC State Fairgrounds, April 19th through 21st. Congratulations. Sit on the line, and Dennis will get the info he needs to make sure you get the tickets, all right? There you go.
All right.
Also, speaking of giveaways, I want to remind everybody that we've been pushing for a very long time to reach 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we've done just that. I set that goal literally maybe 5,000 subscribers ago. We've added 6,500 some odd subscribers since I got on the air here in 8 months ago. And once we started picking up subscribers on YouTube, 10,000 just seemed like a really solid goal. And through the hard work of Dennis Cox, who you hear from often, Victoria Vodenecker, who produces the Adam Gold Show, Adam Gold, our social media staff, our promotions staff here at the studio, as well as through the support of the listeners, we are up over 10,000. And what that means is we get to give away something cool. However, it wouldn't make sense for us to celebrate a YouTube subscriber total to give something away without utilizing our YouTube. So the hints we've given are hockey-related and music-related.
Yes.
We have a prize package that includes something for the hockey fans and something for the music fans, and if you're both, you'll be extra excited. The only way to find out more info, the only way to find out how to enter, the only way to enter is to go to the YouTube page, 99.9 The Fan. There is a video that explains everything. I'm in the video, Dennis is in the video, Adam's in the video, Victoria's in the video. There's thanks to be spread. That's the only part that I'll say we'll do now and we'll do in the video. Thank you. Appreciate it to everybody out there. We love the support. Please continue to subscribe and consume the content and comment and like and pass it along to your friends and recommend it. We are wildly aware that without you all, none of that cool stuff that we get to do exists. So thank you for all the support on YouTube. Please continue. And as part of our appreciation, we want to give you a cool prize. To win the cool prize, you have to go and watch a video, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube.
And by the way, the video is only 1 minute and 24 seconds, so it's not a lot of time.
We're not asking for a huge commitment.
It's not a lot of time. Simple as that. But we're actually giving away some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I think it's worth 1 minute 24, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, not asking for much, but I think it's well worth it. So please go ahead and check that out. In the meantime, I want to let everybody know about my partners over at Miller Lending, and of course that means Gordon Miller as well. There's always speculation about interest rates. They're going to drop in the next year. They're going to go up. Buy now, don't buy now. Timing is everything. I think kind of the best way to go about it is to just be prepared to be flexible, right? Be prepared to take advantage of whatever the market does. So if you're locked into a sky-high rate and they drop, Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, no closing cost loan allows you to take advantage of those dropping rates without digging into your own pockets for thousands of dollars of closing fees and costs and everything else. On the flip side, maybe you're like, oh, don't buy now. The interest rates are too high. Well, guess what? Sometimes life and timing, it's not a choice. You have a new job, you need a new house, you need to upsize, downsize, more space, less space, closer to family, further from family. I don't know what you have going on in your life. Either way, if the timing says you have to buy now, doing so with a no closing cost loan allows you to be prepared to pounce if and when the rates do drop. It's all about flexibility. You can learn more at millerlending.com, millerlending.com. They can explain to you the hows, the whats, the whys much better than I can. So give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or you can go online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I give you my Masters picks, and I let you know what local connections are playing in the first major of the year. Stick around.
Pulling up to Mickey D's just for drinks? Oh, yeah, that's me. Nothing extra, just perfection and a straw. Coming in hot for the coldest cups on the block. Because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
Now get an ice cold lemonade, frozen Coca-Cola, or iced coffee. Any size for just $1.79.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
O'Reilly Auto Parts carries the best parts for your next repair. If your car isn't stopping like it used to, Brake Best Select pads and rotors can restore your braking system performance. Shop Brake Best Select products exclusively at O'Reilly. And visit your new Bunn O'Reilly Auto Parts on Main Street next to Hardee's.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tim Donnelly here for my friends at Zero Res. April showers bring May flowers. Well, how about this? Sitting on your couch in March brings crumbs and stains and spills on your carpet in April. That's where Zero Res comes in. Get your carpets cleaned. Not only is indoor air quality an issue year-round, but especially now that allergens and pollens are coming out of hibernation to invade your home. Get them all, the dust, the dander, everything out of your house using Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of your carpet Zero Resified starting at just $105, and if you get your air ducts cleaned, they'll clean your dryer vent for free. That's a $165 value. Call my friends at Zero Res right now, 919-995-0000, or go online at zeroresnc.com and say you want the 99.9 The Fan special. Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same, and your house will smell clean.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you are tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We are talking natural biologics, using your body's own power power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Sheencup. Dr. Sheencup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call QC Kinetics now to learn more about some exciting options. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. 919-400-5473. With locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
It's playoff time in the NBA and the NHL. Baseball's in full swing, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Adam Gold here. And right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you make your first $5 wager, because you know me. Go to FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold to get started. FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. Then you can bet on anything. Slap shots, home runs, slam dunks, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. $200 in bonus bets await when you place your first $5 wager. Visit FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 and older and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1893 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1893 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed an 1893 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1893 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 131 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-935-7267. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-935-7267 now to secure your 1893 $10 gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-935-7267.
Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Masters starts tomorrow. So if you walk by my desk here at the studio, you will hear the Masters, see the Masters. The Masters starts tomorrow.
Basically, leave Tim alone?
No.
Here's
it's
the
a
thing.
communal event. Enjoy it. Let me spread my excitement.
I'm going to make sure that you have your space, Tim. I'm taking the day off tomorrow.
I want you to
so
you're
you
right.
have
you won't
your
be here.
space.
Friday, I'm going to welcome you into the orbit. Hat tip to datagolf.com. I'm not going to give how I use all my research because, got to keep a few things behind the curtain.
Okay.
But Data Golf does provide a lot of the stats I use.
Sure.
I have my picks. Today is an important day. It is Masters app download day. Did that this morning. Masters app download day.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize I didn't have that one on my calendar. Sorry.
Well, put it there for next year. Don't let it happen again.
Sure.
The Masters has the best app in sports. Okay. I wish every league let the Masters run their app, and I'm not saying that facetiously. There's no doubt in my mind if the Masters ran like the NFL app, you could plug in your fantasy team and it would show you like a red zone personally curated to you of just your fantasy team. They do that good of a job. I'm not joking. Download the app today. And that's not a paid advertisement at all. That's just a person excited for a tournament. It is also Place Your Bets Day. Obviously, you have to get your bets in before the tournament. If you want to place the tournament long bets, you can always, mix it up later on with individual rounds and things. I have 6 players that like I said, got to keep some things. My research have pointed me towards. 1, you're not going to be surprised. Actually, 1 and 2, you're not going to be surprised. The numbers love the 2 betting favorites. Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. My research points to them as very good players. I will add this. Scottie Scheffler's wife is pregnant. due later this month, not like this week, but later this month. He has said if she goes into labor, he's walking off the course.
As he should.
That would just be a brutal gambling beat. If you have Scotty Scheffler and he's like 2 strokes in the lead and he just walks off on like Saturday afternoon. So just prepare yourself mentally for it. I don't think it'll happen. Like I said, she's not due until later in the month, but prepare yourself for it. Rory is notorious for not winning at the Masters. I think it's a matter of time. I like him. The 4 that I'm focusing on, though, with more of my bets because they're a little bit better odds, Hideki Matsuyama already has won Masters. It is a tournament that is notorious for producing multiple-time winners. He is the 6th betting favorite plus 2,000, so you get a nice little return on your money. Cam Young, who's one of the players who does have a local tie. Cam Young plus 5,000. He's also plus 900 to go into the top 10. I like making top 10 bets so you can have multiple winners.
Okay.
Siwoo Kim, fantastic player, plus 5,500, plus 1,000 to be that's 5,500 to win, plus 1,000 to be a top 10. Corey Connors, the Canadian, plus 6,000, plus 1,100. I'm going to say something out loud that I know will get rubbed in my face by about this time on probably tomorrow because they'll have played half a round. The Masters is the most predictable major. That's not to say it is predictable. It is the most predictable of the 4 majors because it is the same course and the same feelings every year. And it's a small field. Not as many players enter into the Masters as a U.S. Open or a PGA. So just playing the numbers, it's a good one to pay attention to. It's a good one to dabble if you are into that sort of thing as on the gambling side of things. And by the way, all those numbers were from DraftKings Sportsbook. The other thing I always do with the Masters is because it is an enjoyable thing. It is something that I have group chats that get significantly more active this week than any other week of the year. I have prop bets that I make every single year just to make the tourney more fun. Tiger Woods to make the cut. You don't want to be the guy rooting against the big cat. Ricky Fowler to finish top 5 because Ricky Fowler is wildly likable. He does a ton of work for nonprofits and philanthropic organizations, and he fell completely out of the elite golf world and worked his way back in. Everybody likes a redemption story. And he used to be the guy that wore all the orange Puma, and people just like to remember him as that like kind of goofy kid, and now he's an adult with a mustache. Sergio to miss the cut because Sergio has a history of doing some unlikable things, and you can get plus money on him to miss the cut, plus 190. Just a little entertainment pick there. In case you can't tell, I go deep into this.
I have a winner.
Oh, you're gonna a winner like a pick?
Yeah, I picked to win the whole thing.
All right, hold on. I'm just going to set the stage for this one.
Okay.
I just lost my family bracket pool to a 7-year-old.
Okay.
My cousin's son is 7, and he beat, I don't know, like 20 adults and a bunch of other kids in our bracket pool. If I lose to the guy that doesn't follow any golf, I'm going to be pretty upset. But you got to compete. You got to be the man in the arena. Who are you picking?
I know a little bit more than most.
Okay, well.
Give me Jordan Spieth.
Not a bad pick.
See, exactly.
Not a bad pick.
See, not a bad pick.
Plays extremely well at Augusta.
Hey, he's won there before.
One might call him a course horse.
There you go.
Which is a term used for somebody that plays very well at a particular course.
See, there it is.
He might be a course horse for Augusta. Do you know what I like
Do
you know what I like about Jordan Spieth?
What's that?
He is the epitome of they don't draw pictures on the scorecard. Last week, he played it off like a drainage pipe into a roof down onto the gutter and somehow walked away with like a double bogey rather than a 12 like everyone else would. He is, the par 3 competition was going on today. There's a separate par 3 course at Augusta, and like you bring your kids out to caddy for you. You have sometimes your wife or your sibling or your dad or mom on the bag, and they take a couple of shots. Jordan Spieth had his son. I can't imagine he's much older than 3 something. And they let him take a few whacks at it. I saw somebody that made a meme. It's Jordan Spieth lining up his son, and the caption said, "All right, son, all you do is you aim for the woods, then you hook it out, then you put it right on the edge of the water, you take off one shoe, you stand in the water, you put it on the green, you hole a 40-foot putt, it's a par." Like that's how he plays the game. So
Yeah.
I don't hate that. As far as local connections go, real quickly here, Akshay Bhatia won last week on tour to qualify for the Masters. He lives in Wake Forest, so you might see him around. Grayson Murray is from Raleigh, overcame a ton to get back to this point in his career. He's playing in the field. JT Poston is from north of Charlotte, so he's at least a North Carolina guy. And Cam Young and Will Zalatoris both went to Wake Forest.
Okay.
So they're both in the mix. Just some local. If you're just, you want to root for North Carolina, you want to support local, there you go.
Hey, I'm all for rooting for the state of North Carolina.
So there you go. All of those, that's the connections. That's what you're looking for. You have something for us?
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Underdog Sportsbook. Sports betting, alive and thriving here in the state of North Carolina. I know people want to get in on the action. I know there's no college basketball anymore, but there's NBA, there's Major League Baseball, we got hockey, folks. If you want to put your parlays, you want to put together your prop bets, you want to do your money lines, who's going to win, all that kind of stuff, your point spreads, look no further than Underdog Sportsbook, because here's something that Underdog Sportsbook gives you as the sports fan. A simple, fresh experience, something straightforward to follow when you open up the app. There's no digging around trying to find different stuff. When you open up the app, it's simple, it's clean, it's very appealing, and it's easy to use, which is what you want in a sports betting app. Especially when you're looking, I don't know, some point later on this week, you want to put down some money on some hockey games or whatever it is. Guess what? Underdog Sportsbook is the place for you. And it's the place for me as well. You can get in on the action. Just download the Underdog Sportsbook app on iOS or Android. Sign up with the promo code Dennis and use your first bet mulligan, which returns up to $1,000 as bonus funds if your first bet loses. That's Underdog Sportsbook, promo code Dennis. Must be 21 plus to gamble and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov or call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply and can be found in the Underdog Sportsbook app.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close, but that just means Overdrive is coming up next. Overdrive, we'll start with a conversation on last night's Canes victory over Boston. I'll give you a preview of the conversation we had earlier that's going to re-air to start Overdrive. The Canes were really gosh darn good last night.
Yeah, they were.
That's an appropriate preview. We break down all the details coming up next. Go follow us on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Look for our contest while you're there to win a cool prize. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow at 3. Have a great night, everybody.